All right, I think we're rolling. What's happening, Fish and Friends? Welcome to another live episode. I'm excited to be joined by the one, the only Gramps. Gramps, how are you?
Doing great, doing great.
Gramps and
Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, for sure. Gramps and I were chatting back and forth today. As you notice, he's got on the Hoosier hat. I've got on the Hawkeye hat. It was a damn good game. It could have went either way, but I had to give Gramps a little guff afterwards. Randall's having some technical difficulties. He's going to be in here in a second, but it's a good day. What's new? What's new, Gramps? I was just on your show last night for a little bit. Got to see Ralph. I see he's already in the comments there. What's up, Mr. Army Outdoors? Nick is in here. Nick, dude, I've got to get pictures of those jigs you sent me because I'm going to either have to figure out how you made those or get some more because that one is the juicy as hell. Caleb Waffle Stomper in here, Michael Steak, Caro Ferg. We got all kinds of people in here. But Gramps, what you been up to, man?
Man, it's just a little bit of everything, kind of like everybody else, trying to get some videos done, get ready for spring. And every time we think we're going to have spring, we turn around and have winter again. I've been trying to build a kayak trailer. I've been wanting to get this project out of the way because I've got a bunch of videos I want to do playing with my new Do-It molds, and I need a warm day to do it, but I need to get this kayak trailer done and kind of out of the way now that we've had some warmer weather. I was kind of showing everybody on Instagram that the reason why I don't build my kayak trailer in my garage is it's full of boat, kayak, and motorcycle and all kinds of other things. So, yeah, just trying to we already talked about college basketball tonight, hella bass, and that's all right because guess who's going dancing? Who wasn't going dancing before the Big Ten tournament? So win, lose, or draw today. IU played a great game today. Took out number 1 Illinois. Took out Michigan and punched their ticket, I'm pretty sure. So we can talk college basketball. I don't care. We beat Purdue at home. We're going to go dancing. Life is good.
The cool thing is Gramps lost a bet. Now he has to wear a tutu or a dress. I'm going to let him pick in his next video. So I'm kidding. We didn't bet. I'm not really a betting guy, whether it's like I'll do some like little fun bets, but I'm not a gambler. I work too hard for my money. I'm not comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to bet on the Hoosiers, I'd bet they'd lose a close one because that's been the trend. So I'm not complaining at all.
Let's talk flat side cranks. I like that 440 fisherman. Randall, I think, is ready. Randy, give me the nod if you're ready. Can you hear me? Oh, he's ready. Here we go.
Oh, yes.
Here we go. There he is.
Hi.
There we go.
Fashionably late. What's up, Randall?
Oh, man. Here's the deal. Make sure if you're ever going out of town and the weather might be nice, don't ever take your fishing stuff with you because the weather's ultimately going to turn and it's going to snow and it's going to blow 48 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm on location today, and
he rubbed it in my face, texted me saying, "Hey, guess what, dude? I'm going fishing. It's all the ponds and everything are undone here." Then I texted him later, I'm like, "How'd the fishing go?" He's like, "It ended up snowing."
They're still open, but I'm not going out, and it's like I have some stuff to show a little bit later when we get to it, but.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking spring lures. 440 wanted to talk about some flat sides. Well, that's the deal tonight. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I like talking gear and such. I do have a giveaway. I've got a Tackle Warehouse shirt. I've got a bunch of them from orders. I've got 70 probably saved up. So I'm going to be giving away. Hopefully y'all like this. This is a one-of-a-kind DT type series. It's not an actual balsa. It's a Do-It crank blank. Some of the first ones they sent me to test out. And signed by me. It's in a, I don't know, bullfrogish, bluegill, red ear, something pattern. Of course, I'll finish it with hooks and everything. It just got out of the, if you can see back there, whoops. You can see back there my contraption, the exhaust tube and everything going out. So I've got one of those I'll throw in to give you a custom. I'll do a shirt, and then I'll throw in some other random stuff. We got that going on. So if you want that, we will do a giveaway later. You just have to be here. Crunchy McGee, what are you crunching down there?
I'm just trying to get stuff out.
Oh, Clamshell McGee, I'm muting him. You can barely hear anything. Good Lord. Sound like a daggum bear going through the dumpster out back. So anyway, we've got a giveaway going.
I think I filled up a trash can with clamshells today, doing the same thing.
Send them all to Randy. He loves clamshells.
Yeah.
Look at that face. Loves them. So that's the giveaway. Appreciate everybody in here. We've already got 200 people in. We've only been on for 5 minutes. I appreciate it a ton. Should be a fun show tonight, talking spring lures, gear, rods, reels. We're going to kind of leave it up to a lot of you. I've got a couple things I'm going to show. I thought I had him here by me, and maybe I don't. I wish Jim was on because I know he'd have some by him. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. So I might have to go find those, but okay. Randy gave me the hands up. Looks like he's ready.
I'm done. I'm done crunching McGeehan.
Okay. So we got a giveaway later. You just have to be present to win it. Shirt, Debo custom crank, and I'll throw in some extra stuff. But 440 Fisherman said, so let's talk flat side cranks. I like that idea because that is one of the things. I'll have to take the top of this off. But that is one of the things that I'm excited to throw, specifically the little Ott's Garage 4. So that's the tiny 4. I threw the 6 last year. Really liked it. I caught a couple on it. But for a lot of the places I fished, it was just too deep. So this is a littler, smaller profile. Just a little, I don't think I saw the big one. Littler, as it were.
What?
Also the chick magnet. So this is kind of the size of those two showed to. Oh my God. Hey, look at that. That's so girthy. We better take a drink.
I think we were all thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's funny. So like I found a store that had random lures that I normally could only find online in. And I think there's probably a reason why normally you just find them online because they wanted, are you guys sitting down? $25 for a jackhammer.
What?
Yeah.
A 2-pack?
No, 1-pack.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then I got like a black and blue. I got 2 black and blues for $12 a piece earlier that day at Shields in the bargain bin.
That's time to be looking,
minutes,
yeah.
38 minutes in the bargain bin, like paper cuts all over my fingers. I'm like bleeding trying to find more jackhammers.
Cameron, I can read the chat. Yes, I'm going through chat. I miss a lot because y'all bombard me with chats. It gets hard, but I'm trying to pick up the stuff related to spring fishing and what we got going on here. Some people saying excited for the show. We got some cool stuff going on. Yes, we do. 440, who actually asked the question, said just got 4 of the tiny. Oh, looks like he's got some cranks there in his picture. Comes with nice hooks. Yeah, that's the good thing about those is they're not super cheap, but it's a balsa bait. Comes with nice, good sticky. Whoa, not even on the thing. Nice, good sticky sharp hooks. Another one's the Bagley. A lot of times you can find those on sale. A little bit bigger. This is not a small one. You can see the difference there, but it is a square bill. Yep. So that balsa is nice for bank fishing because if you can find them on sale, balsa floats really quick. So as soon as you hit something, you can just let it float up. And another one, I don't know if you guys have one, but a Fritz Side 5. Do you have one? Anybody with you right now? Or no?
I don't have one on hand, but I know I have one in a tackle box somewhere.
Yeah, I just said, Randy, your hat's on backwards. I think I've got one.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Another good one. Oh, go ahead, Randall.
No, I was just going to ask, with these chick magnets, are all of the bills this like grid patterny type? You'll never be able to see it, but like this grid patterny white darkness?
That's a circuit board. That's a circuit board.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's the way they make them. Circuit board lips supposed to be stronger, thinner, lighter material.
So slap away on the water as much as I can.
Yes, slap balsa and circuit board on the water. They love that. Don't do that. I'm gonna have to dig through to see if I have a Fritz side, but another one that you can find readily available is the DT series. I know Randy was a big fan of these. I had a few, but Randy, loves these for the river. Like this is a 4 series, so they've got like when you look at the DTs, you'll see like a 4, 6. I think they have an 8, right? 10 and
10. I think it goes 6 to 10.
I think they just released the DT8.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 10. I don't know if it goes above that, but this is my favorite color. This is Ike's. Is that disco shad?
So it's his sexy shad type of color.
Kind of, yeah. It's like an olivey silver with like it's really bright with like a yellowish belly.
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
Pearl. I think that's what it is. Somebody in comments can say, but it's got like a cool sparkle to it. I really like that one. I think it's disco shad. I could be very wrong though. And let me see if I have a fritz side here in this. Yeah, I think for this spring I might just take this and tie this on and throw it.
What kind of setup would you throw that on there,
I would
Debo?
say probably an A-rig rod should work good for this. Is usually what people would throw it. I don't think I have a fritz side 5 in there, but the fritz side 5 we could bring it up on here if anybody really wants to see. But the fritz side 5 is a Berkeley bait that's actually really nice. Have had a ton of success on it. It's a plastic bait. It's silent, like a regular balsa bait, like all these, the Chick Magnet and the Tiny, OG Tiny. All of these are, oh, actually the Chick Magnet does have a, I didn't know it did.
Yeah, it sounds like a couple in there.
Yeah, but like the OGs and the fritz sides are silent, which is nice when those fish are a little spooky, you know, in that cold water coming up to spawn. What was I going to say? Oh, but it's a plastic bait. So instead of being balsa, you get the benefit of both plastic and it's got a good buoyancy. What do you guys got? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on...
I'm super excited for this. This is a, God, it's a Magic, and I think it says Magic Man M65. It is not the best color, but it was the only color that looked any decent, but it's a lipless.
13 fishing, right?
13 fishing, yeah. I'd never seen those before. And I mean, again, the color's not the best on it for what we have, but it was this or I didn't grab one at all, and I'm not going to not grab one. So I went ahead and picked one of those up. I was pretty excited just to try new type of, you know, lipless.
Yeah. I got a couple too. I think I can't remember what I got, but yes. New baits are always fun. We got a member. I did see my boy Adam Colley in here. Adam, how are you, brother? A cast today became a member. Oh, you guys can't see these yet. Hold on. Let me get to David's question, then I'll bring up members because I have to find him. You can't click the top thing. So let me see. I'm going to run over to Tackle Warehouse quick and do a share because I don't remember which one those are. Are those the new, the DD? Is that the deep diving? I do like the Little Johns a ton. Let's make sure I'm sharing. I am. The Spro Little John is a great little flat side crankbait. Randy, I think I painted some of those up for you and gave you. Those are the little... yeah. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I was just putting that coffin type box together. I was throwing a bunch of my crankbaits in there, and I ran across those. They were in a box similar to the one that you just pulled some lures out of.
So this is the one I normally use for bank fishing. Again, it's got that circuit board lip, flat side, but it's also a plastic bait, so it's kind of the benefits of both. I guess I'd have to try both of these. Look at the like the float rate and kind of the action of these compared, but like to the fritz side. But it's a flat side, so it's got a little bit of a shimmy, a little bit tighter wobble, good for cold water. But the DD, I'm thinking that's the new deep diving. I have not used it if it is. The DD45, is that the one he said? DD45. Yes. I have not. As a bank guy, I don't fish 8 to 10 feet. For cold water, yeah, I think it would kick. Absolutely. Or like they said, they're pressured fish. Because I don't know if those have a rattle in them. Does it say? Yeah, so that tight wiggling, subtle vibration, fixed internal weight system. So I'm guessing it does not. And that's one thing I think people often overthink with crankbaits is you just, I think most like, you know, kind of everyday anglers think that, yeah, most crankbaits all have a rattle in it. But going from just that crankbait with a big, you know, loud rattle to a silent crankbait can be complete difference. I remember there was a day Randy and I were fishing. It's been probably, 4 years ago now? Right at my birthday at a lake.
Yep.
I was throwing a silent one that matched the fish there. Randy had thrown multiple, looked, you know, very similar with rattles. Yeah. And that was the difference we could think of was I had a silent. And that was another 40, 50 fish a day for me.
Yeah, insane. I mean, I didn't get skunked that day, but you dominated me in fish that day. It was insane. Like I had virtually the exact same thing. Yours was maybe like just a slight hair difference, maybe on the top or the side or something, but I couldn't even come close to catching the amount of fish that you did.
What else we got? What else we got? Bomber flat A? Yep, absolutely. Bombers. Any sort of flat side. Those are just some of them. There's a ton of them out there.
Yeah, following along with what Dizzle was saying, I kind of go, I don't throw a ton of crankbaits. I do throw, you know, some, But, going the lipless side with the red eye shads early in the season, those seems like they're always a fish catcher. And then last year I tried out a bunch of the different, 6 Sense, lipless as well. So I actually got a pretty good collection of those. Just kind of like a whole bunch of different colors to see what, might work well. I mean, I kind of like that red there.
Mm-hmm. It's like really pearly metallic-y, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and they do such a good job at selling colors that catch fishermen, but they really seem to catch a lot of fish on them too. So I give 6 Sense a lot of credit for how they paint their baits.
You gotta love their names too. The names for the
for
the colors. Hey, Debo, I know this isn't really going along with our spring
Somebody
fishing,
corrected me
but
earlier, said I was throwing a 6, and that's right. Sorry.
I did have to. I had to show you, Debo. I picked this up just because I thought of you.
What do you got?
Ran across it.
Oh, I don't have one here. I love it.
And this is in the, if you can tell, it's the bullfrog color.
Bullfrog? Sound just like you.
I couldn't believe
it. Bullfrog?
This is at that same store that had all these random lures that I'd never seen before.
That's funny.
Oh.
It's a DT4. Sorry,
nice.
everyone. That was a GT6 before.
I saw this new, as you're digging through stuff, I guess, I saw this new tackle storage box. It was something called like the honeycomb or something like that.
Is it the Busby?
It might be. So it had like the silicone inserts to basically make your box like whatever size you wanted it to be.
I think so. You'd have to talk to Burley on that. Yeah, I think that's the Busby box.
Yeah, I ran across one of those, and I was gonna get one just to check it out, but it was, I don't know if they were weird or what was going on, but I had to buy the box and then individual storage containers elsewhere. It didn't like come with any at all, so it was just a big wide open box. So they looked interesting. I didn't know if you'd ever seen or used or anything like that.
I don't have any. I've heard of them. Yeah, Burley, I think, had a couple of them that he unboxed and stuff. But Justin became a member. Justin, thank you. And then also a cast a day. Thank you so much for everybody that's become a member, everybody that donates, anybody that supports me. I appreciate it a ton, y'all. A ton. What else? What else do we got, fellas? So Gramps showed some lipless.
I'm kind of excited for this. I mean, I don't know, necessarily when or where or how or what or why, but I got a little umbrella rig. And obviously it's, what is it? It's a 3-wire. In Iowa, we can only do two hooks, Debo, is that right? 2,
yep.
Yeah, so 2 hooks. So one of them will just be a regular, a non-hooked like screw lock to screw in your regular plastic tube. But I'm kind of excited just to throw this around. I'm not going to be excited when I hang it in the tree, but I'm excited to throw it.
Yeah, a cast a day. I agree. Gramps is being all quiet and mysterious tonight. What are you doing up there, Gramps?
I'm just listening and digging. I was actually trying not to drop my crankbait box on the ground while I was digging out those. But here's another one I just picked up from Shop Carl's of all places. Is the Jekyll colored Buka bull shad, and I actually picked up both of the bull gills because I didn't have any bull gills at all. So I figure, when we start playing with those water temps when they go above 55, and everybody wants to throw a bunch of red stuff, this looks like it'd be a fun one to play with.
Interesting. I've thrown those, but I haven't caught anything on them yet. Those little.
Man, I was fishing in a strip pit with the regular Buka shad, and man, I bet I caught 20 fish in a row. Just just throwing that around too. So it was just one of those days where they wanted it.
Randall's got them too.
This is the shiner color.
Shiner?
Golden shiner, and then the regular shad underneath it. Yeah, again, I I can't go to any more stores when I'm out here because they all just have stuff that they don't have in stores around. And you know me, if I can get it in my hand, I'm pretty much just going to buy it. It's not really conducive to anything.
Did see a good question. Where did that go?
I was being all quiet because Michael was asking about my code and if it worked on used stuff. Hey guys, when you go to AmericanLegacyFishing.com, try Gramps 10 on everything. I know guys that are buying trolling motors and the code works.
Wow.
So try it on everything.
Man. And I think,
if you can check out and get it for 10% off, go do it.
Don't you just put it in once and it does it for everything that's in there?
Yeah, everything in your cart. Yep.
Chris, straight retrieve on a DT or crank, pause, crank. I almost don't ever anymore unless I'm like ticking rocks where I'm trying to keep bottom contact and reeling slow. I almost never straight retrieve. That's like the only time. But if I'm like square bill fishing or shallow water fishing, as soon as I like bang into something like a good bang, I'll let it float up a little bit. Then I'll pop my rod tip. Like if you don't have stuff to make it like make the fish react, like knock it off something, get like barely stuck in something, pull it out. I'll either pop my rod tip or pause for a second, just like pause, quick, and then go normal again, and just mess with it because you might find they hit it after you go, like 2 or 3 quick cranks, or like after you pop it a couple times, where it does a little mess around with it. How about you guys?
Yeah, never handcuff yourself to one type of retrieve ever. Just try them all, see what works.
Yep.
And maybe one day it's one thing, the next day it's another, and then the other day they don't want any of it.
Now, somebody earlier was asking about the big blade chatterbait, and I've got 2 things I'm going to try early, because early in the season, a lot of times you'll grab, if you want to grab a spinnerbait when it's still cold, you grab a big Colorado blade because you want that slow thump. I'm kind of thinking the same thing about the big blade, is letting it run maybe a little deeper, because you're going to be, talking about before those bass are really moving really fast. But maybe you can get this down there. We're going to run Debo for president.
Dizzle for mayor.
But I'm wondering if we can maybe use these big blades as like a kind of a slow roll thumper, kind of like an underwater buzz bait, if you will. Just get it down there and let it do a real slow thump and kind of see how that plays out as well.
What are the weights on those? They're pretty heavy, aren't they?
You can I actually went back and bought some more. So these I bought in half, I believe,
Okay.
But I actually went back and bought some more. I got a video dropping tomorrow talking about kind of like all the stuff I picked up for spring. But I went back and got the heaviest ones they have so that I could literally fish some deep ledges in one of the pits that I like to fish that could be 50 feet deep, So I'm thinking about maybe really slow rolling these in deep water just to see if that maybe is something new that we can add to the arsenal this year.
I think so. Slow rolling a big bladed spinnerbait, that muddy water around here does well in the colder water, getting up 50s, around 60. Always seems to do good. So I wouldn't see why that'd be.
And then on the opposite spectrum, the Chatterbait Mini with those little finesse shads we got in the Monster Bass box, I can see this being highly productive when things start speeding up a little bit too. But so I've got 2. I'm going big and I'm going small, and we'll kind of see what 2022 brings.
Yeah, I'm excited to try those 2. I don't have the red one here, but I do have one of the big old big blades in the black and blue. I want to try in some muddy water. I got 5/8. So they have 1/2 ounce, 5/8, and 3/4 ounce, I guess, in those.
Yeah.
I kind of got a mix of the 1/2 and 5/8. I didn't get any 3/4, but
yeah, because you can get the black, you can get the blue razor shads, or you can get the deal color, which is my favorite, because it pretty much goes on any of the chatterbaits or jackhammers.
Mike asked a good one. Mike, I have a Gantrell Junior. I've thrown it once. I don't have confidence in those jointed swim baits. I don't know, Randy. I don't think you have a Gantrell, do you?
I don't believe so. No,
Gramps?
I don't think so.
You?
No, I'm a fairly standard. I mean, I've got the Bocas are like the big closest things, anything like that. I've got like a dark sleeper, but I don't throw very much. I keep saying I'm going to play more in the swim glide stuff, but never do.
Ruben says, I was impressed with your knowledge on the tackle trivia with Rudd. Y'all, if you don't watch Alex Rudd, go check out Alex Rudd. That was so much fun last night. I thought for sure I was going to get blown out of the water. I was outclassed by those guys. So I was just happy to stay in it for a little bit. But it was so much fun just answering trivia. And it was even cooler that Rudd went on and told us, like facts about it, and everybody got to learn. That's what I liked. That was awesome. So it was a ton of fun. We might, Randy, I'm going to talk to you. We might have to do like a Family Feud style fishing show if we can get like.
I mean, I'll lose, but sure.
Maybe 6 people on here. We have like 3 versus 3. Try to figure out a game. We get Hellebass in here. We get who else? I don't know who else is in here. All you YouTube personalities. It'd be a ton of fun though.
So I do have to, Debo, I kind of broke this to you earlier, and I kind of want to break the news to everybody else. But this is going to be like a little bit of a start here. I picked up this
Randy's moving to Texas.
Black. Just a little, it's like a super cheap, not anything crazy, 13 fishing. But I needed it to put this on there. I don't know
it's good looking.
Anybody knows or remembers. I have a little bit of a dislike for a certain brand called Daiwa, and
the best one. Okay.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, it was one of those spur of the moment things. It was the last one they had in stock. It was on sale and the price was reduced. So I don't know how that works. Probably because it was on the last one in stock. Then I picked it up, and I have yet to be able to get out and throw it because, again, the weather. I did though find some wind grips for it because these grips are tiny.
Yeah, I
like
don't
normally I struggle getting these wind grips on here, but this time I actually used the grip tape that comes with the grips on the inside so they wouldn't slip off, which I thought was crazy.
So yeah, these are the old ones. I love the old grips. I don't know why they changed them. You can't really see. I guess they're kind of like an ovalish, almost like the Lose like style, but like the Daiwa, whatever they had on here was grippy, like kind of textured. It's not like slick like the Lose. I love those handles, and then they changed them to what the hell's going on my screen here?
Super small. They're just so tiny.
Yeah, and they changed them to like these little ones, which I'm sure some people like, but I agree with Randy. I don't like the little tiny. I guess that's probably the best.
Just like holding it in my hand and spinning it around a little bit. I felt like, man, I'm gonna miss these. Like they're just too small to be able to get a good purchase on them without like looking down and physically seeing it in my hand and knowing I'm grabbing a hold of it.
They're little. Adam, serious question. When am I going to get a kayak? Well, I've got an aluminum kayak. Have you not seen me fish from that? There's people that was actually pulled up to a guy talking to him, and his kayak was bigger than my John boat. A 12-foot kayak. My John boat's 11 feet. I don't know. I've talked about it before. I can't really justify getting a kayak when I've got the little John boat. Like it does everything a kayak does. So
I think everybody agrees that the best video series that Debo could do in 2022 would be a wide John boat build out. That would be awesome.
I actually was just talking to Dad about you when you mentioned on the last one, because I had mentioned it a while back. And Gramps is like, man, I was hoping you were going to do that build. I'm like, Dad, we still got to do it. He's like, yeah, it'd be hella fun. So maybe if some stuff kind of calms down in our family, we can do that. Yep. But I sure hope so.
Get some men and put it on there.
Yeah, that's what I did with the holes in my John boat when it was leaking. I just put minute on it. Good as new. Take care of it.
Dave, that a little Flex Seal.
Yeah, a little Flex Seal over it. Dave Washburn said, Debo got the Neds you sent. They're awesome. Dave, awesome. I'm glad you like them. So I was about 2.5 months behind on giveaways. Yeah, organized I am. 2.5 months behind on giveaways. Got, I think, 11 boxes and stuff out. And shipping was $98 that I spent just to ship stuff to people. So there was somebody in the last show saying he does giveaways and he never sends stuff out. That's sort of true. It does take like 2 months. However, I do send stuff out. So
Real quick, Debo, have you gotten any, or have you seen any additional comments about the, not the last video where you were pouring heads yet? Last time I was on there, last time I was on there, on your comments of that last video where you're pouring the jig heads.
Oh,
I think I only saw one comment on there, but that was like right after it released.
oh man, yeah. There was a hidden Easter egg. If you watch the video where I'm making my wacky rig heads, if you watch the intro before I pan down to like actually show you the wacky rig setup, there's an Easter egg in there. See if you can find it. See if you can find.
Technically,
what the
there's 2 of them.
Yeah, it's the same Easter egg though, just it moved. So see if I can find it. What else do we have? Here's a good one, Adam. So when does the whole red bait thing kick into effect? We're just barely in the 40-degree water range. I don't know if it's like a certain water temperature. I just know early spring for us because it goes so quick.
55.
55, huh?
55.
I want to say
what it is that triggers crawls. Everybody thinks that crawls hibernate. They don't. They're always moving. But when the water hits 55, you'll notice that they start getting a red tinge. And there are some places where they're red anyway. But 55 is what starts triggering their mating season. So when it hits that, they're out looking for love. And that's why they're much more active. And that's why a lot of people really start throwing red a lot, because the crawls are moving around a whole lot more right when about the time the water temperature hits 55, at least mostly for here in the Midwest and up.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah, I know I've thrown it before. I would just say try it. Like the biggest thing is when the water's that cold, like if you're getting in the high 40s, just slow. You got to go slow. Slow on that crankbait. Looking for anything different where those fish might be a little bit warmer. A creek coming in. Yep. But yeah, I would say try it, dude. I know there was a day that we hit it, and I mean it was cold. We were bundled up, so
yeah,
try it.
One of the best days ever. It's just, I think you have to like kind of naysay the red color first, like, oh, everybody loves red, it's so dumb, and then you throw it, and you have like the best day ever.
What was the reel that you had, Randy? He said, a cast day said one of the best $700 reels I've ever used.
It's the Tatula 100.
That's not $100 reel. Was there another one?
No, it wasn't $100. It was just a smidge over, but it was on sale. God, what is it? It's the L left-handed 100H LH, I believe. I don't know, something like that.
Are you just saying random letters?
Yeah, it's a Tatula. That's what I know, and it's left-handed. That's about it.
You know what we know? We know that Jeremy's right. Jeremy says, I need your first video, Dizzle. We need some Dizzle vids. When's the Dizzle Fusion, Dizzle YouTube, Dizzle Extravaganza, whatever the hell you're going to name it?
You never asked, or you never told me what my problem might be on my computer the other day when I was trying to log on to it, and you just ignored me and blew me off.
What was it? I don't know. We'll have to talk. I don't remember.
No, it was some kind of error message, but yeah, I can tell you when I get back.
Probably user error. Nick Rodriguez became a YouTube member. Nick, thank you, brother. Appreciate it a ton. What else we got? What else? Let's get some subscriber questions going. Oh, the jerkbait. Yeah. You want to talk some jerkbait?
Got to talk about these this time of year. So I finally, I picked up a bunch of 6 cents ones. I was playing with them a lot last year, but had to go with the old Hank Cherry Special.
I like the Bass Pro Shop. I don't have any. They're out in the truck in the box, but the Bass Pro Shop ones, I've had really good luck on. I think it's a ghost color. It's virtually see-through.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Suspending, not sinking or rising. Suspending, I've had the best luck on overall. And last time I bought them, they were pretty much cheaper than the rest of, the rest of the gambit of lures.
Yeah, jerkbait is definitely one. There's a couple lakes here where I get usually on a really good jerkbait bite. Not a bunch of crazy big fish, but man, it's fun when you're catching 50 fish in a day. It's just the jerkbait bite is like a ton of fun. Waiting for that pause, and it's like as soon as you go to work it, boom, they hit it. Ton of fun. Ton of fun.
So, stupid little fact for me when it comes to jerkbait fishing, I seem to do better if I'm listening to music while I do it. That
Because
way
you're
I
getting the beat.
don't I'm not getting stuck in the same cadence. My cadence is usually changing as like a different song comes on or something like that. Just little weirdness about me.
Bobo, you did see that. I had a bag down here with the show. Ah, I stepped on Lipless. Lipless in the foot. Debo down. Okay, I did. So, okay, funny story on this. So this was a deal that I worked with Monster Bass. They set up a specific Debo color. A couple of us got to pick some colors and do like a limited run deal. I was honored that they asked me to do it. It's like a blackish with a tinge of purple, and if you can see in the back of it, it's got purple and blue flake. So it's a pretty normal color, but it's not a color they normally make. And I think in the mini D-bombs, they don't even make a black with blue flake. So the DEBO'S surprise is what it came out to be. It was going to be DEBO'S sunrise, but they couldn't do like the whole like tequila sunrise line of stuff. It was just like kind of a simpler color with a couple things added into the line. So I was like, cool, I still love it. And I had, I don't know, probably 15 people after I posted this, like, dude, where can I get some? I want to buy some. I'm like, dude, this is so freaking awesome. And then Missile Baits hits me up on Instagram and says, hey man, where can people buy those baby D-bombs with DEBO'S surprise? I was like, what? Is this a real thing? I'm like, oh, it was a thing between Missile Baits and Monster Bass. They're only going to be available in the Monster Bass box for March, and then everything left over, they're going to put on the Monster Bass sites. They will be selling whatever's left over. These, me, Burley,
Okay.
I'm not sure who all has them, but they'll sell the extras directly on the site. I was just like, I was cracking up when Missile Baits themselves were like, hey, where can people get that? I'm like, did you guys get a few like questions on it? They're like, yeah, we got a few people asking about it. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I love
I wanted yours in the Missile Baits, and then I wanted the creamsicle from the Rudd, and I ended up getting neither. So I'll have to go on the site and get some stuff.
Yeah, so hopefully, I don't know how many they're going to have. They sent me a few bags of them.
The last time I was over, I was
cool.
I was like, oh, here, Debo, I got you a couple of different things, nothing crazy or anything. And then he's like, oh, yeah, here's a couple of different things, too. And I look at the plastics, and then I start looking at a couple of different things. I think you had a new rod or reel or something. And I was looking at that, too. And, like, I just went to put the plastics and everything in my bag. And he's like, did you look at the name of those plastics? I was like, no. And I was like, ah. Insanity ensued after that, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool as hell, man. And especially Missile Baits make some of my favorite stuff. I love the little D-bombs. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just hit up Missile Baits and tell them, hey, you know, let's just work together and make DEBO'S lures, and they'll probably pay me $10,000 per bag, and it'll just be a huge sponsorship. That's a joke.
10,000 pesos.
Yeah, 10,000, whatever is worth like 5 cents. No, I'm just honored either way. It's super freaking cool.
That was really cool. I thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah,
it was a thing that surprised me. So Fishing the 413 said, Debo, what do you think of the Daiwa Zillion TWHD? I don't know if Tackle Warehouse has the new one. I did hear they're releasing a new one. I don't have the other HD. I don't really honestly know much about it. The higher price.
Are you attempting to share right now, Debo?
Oh, whoops. Yep. Sorry. Thank you, Randall.
I saw your face kind of looking glazed over, like you're looking at the screen instead of.
Yep. My bad.
You're good.
Here. So this is not the new one coming out. I know they have a new one of these. Yeah, I don't know much about it. It's a $400 reel. But yeah, this is the old one. So right, because I don't think this is the new version that just came out. I think it looks different. So I don't know. No, I'm not a big help here. I don't know anything about it, but I love Daiwa. Honestly, we've asked it, or we've got and talking about it before. Daiwa or Shimano. I do like Shimano. I think they make the smoothest, most like smooth feeling, but I don't know what it is. That Zillion, it stole my heart. I kind of like the Daiwa stuff. I think it'd have to be Daiwa.
Yep.
Gramps,
if I had to sell all my reels and pick up I would probably pick up a whole bunch of zillions. I like having a mix just to kind of test and play with stuff. But if I wasn't into YouTube and just going fishing, after fishing with that thing last year, it'd be hard for me not to just get a bunch of them.
I agree. Will anyone here like 13 fishing reels or tried them? Yeah, actually, I was just talking about how 13 hadn't had anything new for a while. And Randy and I were at a tackle store. I remember, like, I think that was early last year, right when they came out. Am I sharing? Nope.
Nope.
Right when we were looking at them, and I said, man, it feels like we haven't heard anything out of them forever. I know Randy's got a few 13. I've got a few 13, but I did pick up their new Concept A2. Really liked it. Slick reel. I've had no issues with the old one, just the regular Concept A or the new A2. And then the Z Slide, which is a cool, fun one I got to try. A little expensive, but it casts really well once you get it dialed in.
Yeah. I was going to make sure you threw in that little asterisk there of the once you got it dialed in.
Yeah,
there was a hot second I thought that whole combo was going into the lake that first time you took it out.
I couldn't figure out what the hell the deal was. I was like, I've got 2 brakes on. I tried it, kept backlashing. 3, kept backlashing. 4, kept backlashing. I think I had to turn it to 5 internal brakes, and I think it goes to 6. But I was talking to Tackle Junkie, and he said that he talked to Fluke Master, and apparently they changed. I don't know if they show. No, they don't show the inside of it. But it's just got a little dial in here where you turn it, and then it's got the internal centrifugal brakes where like the little tabs kind of flare out. And apparently they changed whatever that material was to make it more durable. But I guess it was slicker or something. Because Tackle Junkie said he had the same deal. He's like, yeah, it was kind of hard to get dialed in. So it was one of the harder reels to get dialed in. But once I got it, man, I was slinging stuff, and it's
and again. That one's the one that you can, was it just the drag or the brakes, one up or down?
Yep. Yeah. So the whole kind of deal with this, which I thought it was kind of gimmicky, but it was kind of nice for the wind. Whoops. Right here, it's got a slider. So once I put it on 5 internal brakes, if it got a little windy, I was throwing like a weightless stick bait. You can move this back and it gives you +1 brake. And then when you don't need it, you can push it and change 1. So instead of having to pop it all the way open, some people might say, well, you could just get something with different brakes, or I don't know. I mean, I kind of tip my hat to them for doing that. It's a magnetic brake there on the side. They've kind of changed up. I think it's cool, but
yeah, it was definitely something different.
Yeah, I like 13. I've had those. I know Randy had the Concept C he really liked. Not the new one, the older one, but yeah.
It's a few years older now, but it's just a beast of a reel. It's quiet, feels nice. I like the grips. It's a win for me always.
I do like their grips, yeah.
Yeah, somebody's talking about the new $730 Daiwa Steez. It's a little past me.
That's like the
that one's the new one's past me. I had a subscriber, Matt, if you're out there watching, I haven't seen you in the chat yet. He sent me one of the old 70 Steezes, not the brand new one, but the older one, which was still like I think $500. He said he got it basically for nothing and hooked me up with it for basically for nothing. So people always, I got an old core. Actually, I'll show you this. Talk about old Shimano's. Or Randy or Gramps, if you got one in chat, a question or something you want to answer with it.
Cameron just asked about the Piscifun reels. I tell you what, I haven't tried the reels, but I found a rod, and it was an okay rod, but I ended up, I think one of the eyelets, the inner plastic got nicked or it went missing or gouged or something on it, and I just kind of put it away because it kept Walter fraying my line. So
yeah. I've got one piece of fun reel on a Dobbins stick that I bought for Hunter when he got out of the Army. And I know Creek Fishing Adventures, he fishes he uses spinning almost exclusively. And he creek fishes and kayak fishes, and he uses them quite a bit. And seems, I think they kind of support his channel as well, but I don't think he's ever had any issues with any of them. And, I think when I kind of looked into them a little bit, they are a company that is in China that makes reels with other names on them. So, if it's one that's probably already popular It's just got a different color scheme and different labeling on it, but it's probably a brand that people are familiar with. So, take it for what it's worth. But hey, if you can get it for cheap and it works, it still catches fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got, so the first one I wanted to thank my guy, if he's out there, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I can't remember. But I traded him some of my lures. He's like, dude, I want some of your lures. I don't ever use this reel. It's a nice reel. This is an old Shimano core, magnesium frame, like in the day, one of the best reels you could get. Adam Culla, if he's still in here, he can tell you. Super cool. And again, a subscriber's like, hey man, I'll trade you. I just want a couple of your lures. And I think basically for nothing. So it's, dude, so cool to have subscribers like that. It means a ton to me. Like Gramps has said, like Randy say, I say, we're just guys who fish. I'm not a celebrity. We just like to fish, So the people who do that blows me away. So thank you all. And then the Alloy M. That reminds me, I need to get a review up on this. This is the only Piscifin reel I own. I think it's regularly like $80, and they had a sale on Amazon. I think I got it for $50. And for $50, this is a slam of a deal, I think. It's got carbon fiber handle. It's not the smoothest when you retrieve it. Castability was awesome on it. I didn't have issues. It's just got the simple magnetic brakes. I like the reel a lot. It's not the lightest. It's not the smallest. But for $50, if they run those deals.
Looks like a decently long handle, too.
Yeah, it's not a tiny handle. Actually, that's one funny thing about the core. Back then, those handles were tiny. Look at that difference. Just a little guy.
That's funny.
But yeah, I like the Alloy M. Only Piscifin reel I've ever owned, but I liked it. What else we got? Man, y'all are.
We didn't touch on with Army Outdoors question. Soft plastics, keep them in the bag or transfer to boxes.
Oh yeah. I'm always bags. Always bags.
No clamshells, but always bags.
Ooh, I do like clamshells for certain things, not everything. Boot tails, certain things like flukes, like 6 Cents put their, was it the flush, Gramps? Is that their fluke?
Yes, that's what I love, throwing on the back of jackhammers. And it's great. I mean, the biggest bass I caught this year was throwing a flush weightless, and it was just a pearl white one, and I was just twitching it in what I thought were I could, see some bait fish moving around. And yeah, the biggest fish I caught this year was just right around 5.5. But yeah, I love me some of the 6 Cents flush. That's for sure.
Oh boy.
Adam may have a 70 old Corrado 70 for me. So I bought an old one off him. Appreciate you, brother. David, this or that, Mendet or super glue to fix the J. Morris rod I closed in the trunk lid, snapping off the top 5 inches. Ooh. Duct tape, and I'd lather Mendet over it.
Yeah. I think you're going to need a decent base before you finish her off with Mendet, but maybe you got a short, stocky, powerful pole now, I guess.
Yeah, turn it into a little dock skipping frog rod. Speaking of frog.
Yeah.
What's a good temperature to start throwing frogs? For me, it's like usually around 60 degrees is kind of my deal to start throwing topwater. Like once it starts to hit 60, I'm like, okay, we'll try. Not always. There was a day that me and Dad, it's been years ago on the boat, the whole lake was, I don't remember what the temps were, 50 something. And it was like 55 in the back of this creek channel. So it was like maybe 3-4 degrees warmer right in the back where this little creek come in with warm water. We had an awesome day on frogs. It was like 55 and just destroyed them in this muddy, yucky water. But usually 60 is kind of the deal for me.
Anytime there's open water, DEBO'S taking a frog ride just in case.
Gramps, how about you? When do you look to throw that frog? Oh, in the trash or in the water, he says.
This will be the year, right? Hey, the Hoosiers made the dance, so I got to catch a frogfish, right? It's got to happen.
Keep throwing that, baby. I've seen some of those places you fish. No problem catching one. It's like,
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have this hat on the first time I pull the frog rod out. That'll be what does it. Stupid frogs.
Stupid drop shots. DEBO, what do you prefer, Baitcaster or spinning reel? We're all going to go on this one. I prefer Baitcaster. I'm more accurate with it. I think it's just more efficient. It's more comfortable for me to hold. However, I'm not afraid of spinning reels, or I don't call it a sissy stick and don't have one. I've always got a spinning reel with me. I like finesse. When the bite gets tough, I'm never opposed to getting on a good spinning rod bite.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I had posted a little picture of some of the stuff we were going to talk about tonight, and Punch Fishing was like, "Where's the shaky head? I was like, "Nah, this is just stuff that I've picked up for this year." Because to his point, one of the first things I generally pick up is like a little either shaky head or a Nico rig. And generally it's especially when the water is super cold. And I'll give an example of this first kayak tournament of fish last year. Buddy and I were fishing in the kind of the same area, and I had come through there with a shaky head, and he came through about 15 minutes later, same bridge, same area, with a Nico rig and caught a 5-pounder right behind me. And so I'm sitting here watching him, he's in a paddle kayak. He keeps it simple, and this bass is just pulling him around in circles while we're on the water. But, you always want to have a sissy stick with you because, especially early in the year, those little very finessey baits, it's a good idea. And that's the time to be throwing them too.
Yep. Randy, we all know Randy likes a spinning reel, especially when you're carrying it around and
it ties up with everything. And then the next thing you know, you're like a bug in a spider's web with it.
Yeah. Randy and I always joke about that. If our rods ever get tangled, it's always the spinning reel's fault.
Since we're going to talk about spinning reels for a second, I've got one that I haven't even unboxed or done a video on yet.
I like the
but I picked up something for the old Neds and Shakies and other stuff that we're going to try out for the year. So
nice.
I'll probably do an unboxing on this one. And I actually have a second victory rod that's going to be a major player in the year that they just came out with. So this spinning reel came out when they did the first launch of the victories, and the rod that's still in the American Legacy fishing tube. It's going to be wearing that Zillion this year, if that tells you a little bit. If anybody who follows my channel knows what I use that Zillion for.
What was the specs on that one? Was it a 7-foot, did you say?
The spinning or the bait casting?
No, the spinner that you were just showing.
This is I think it's a 610 medium. And I actually got this based off the recommendation of a buddy of mine who was the KBF state champion this last year and fished in the national championship.
Wow.
He's always a stick, but he actually has his. So this is it's a 610 medium extra fast. And he actually has his set up with the the Shimano Nasi.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably throw my I'll probably throw my Shimano Stradic on it this year. But yeah, this one looks like I'm gonna put some. So like I said, I'm fishing with different stuff this year than my beloved Dobbins, just because I want to try different stuff out.
I like it. Mike says, "What's everyone's favorite creature bait? Been doing well on a missile bait baby destroyer." Oh Lord, I don't even know what I would say. I mean, you've got the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver, you've got the DEBO'S, you've got I can't even think. The Pit Boss, you've got
Mr. DEBO. You've seen these, right?
Yeah,
the
spicy
beavers.
Yeah.
The first time I don't know as if I've seen these ever. They have
I gave you a pack a while back.
You might have. Oh yeah. They're white, I think.
White ones.
We were using. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'm excited to throw those just because I remember how nice those white ones were.
Yeah, they're good. They I don't have like a menace to show you, but yeah, they definitely have more of a thump. They have like in the back of the tail, it's got like a piece like this that actually catches the water, so it's a very like hard flappy kick as opposed to the menace, which is more of like a lighter doggy paddle. I don't know if that made sense to anybody, but
everybody that follows my channel will know what I say my favorite creature bait of them all is.
The Bandito bug is yours, isn't it?
I did get some new ones to try this year that are wearing max scent, so we'll see how that goes.
Back it up a little bit.
They have like a
There you
little.
go. Yeah.
It's almost like a rudder on a boat or a
Yeah.
kayak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
they got
pretty
a lot
neat.
of kit
They
going.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. I don't know, Mike. That's a good question. There's so many. I love trying new stuff, so it's hard for me. But yeah, the missile baits, the D-bomb, and just the regular beaver are probably a couple of my favorite beavery creature style baits. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
me,
know.
my all-time favorite is a chigger crawl, just because.
Oh man.
I mean, that's
God.
been around for a good
And then they
amount of
came out
time.
with like,
And it was
what were they? Crazy leg chigger craws, and they added
Yep.
like 16 other
The
appendages
two
to it.
little curly
Yep.
things in front.
Got
of
the two little
Yeah,
curly
yeah.
things that come off the end of them. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kinky Beaver's a good one, Mike. Yeah, their names over at Reaction Innovations are funny. The Kinky Beaver's a good one. The Man Bear Pig, if you want something more finesse,
Ooh,
which is
yeah.
kind of like the Missile Baits Destroyer. Or a Baby Brush Hog was like one of my favorites for quite a long time too. Not the big ones. I ever had really good luck on the big ones, but the babies.
One of my
Yeah, the
favorite ones
babies.
from the last year was the X Zone Adrenaline Craws.
Oh,
I don't know if that's so much of a
yeah.
creature, but you know,
Yeah,
in
I'd put it in
that
that
style.
category.
But that was a really good one for me last year as well.
Yeah, they're very similar to that Spicy Beaver, actually. They're like
Yep.
the old. Well, here, actually, I just saw they're like the old Zoom. Is it Z-Craw? They call those the Zoom Z-Craw. I think these were. I just found a pack of these. I was like, oh damn, that's a good color. Because I've been trying to organize down here. Stuff's still a mess, but this is the Z-Craw. So this is the Z-Craw Junior. So this is one that I used to throw, and it's kind of like a mix between the Rage Menace. So you can see it's got the ribs all the way up. Like a mix between that Rage Menace and what Randy was just showing, kind of that Spicy Beaver. So it kind of looks like that Adrenaline Bug sort of from X Zone. But yeah, that's a goodie.
Yeah, Zoom has been getting it done for a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh, Zoom.
I saw that American Legacy got like 4 pallets of stuff, Zoom stuff on that they haven't even got up on the website. And then they also added missile baits to their lineup as well. So I've been trying to tell them, guys, I know you guys do rods and reels, but let's get some more baits in the house too.
Yeah. Fish for life. Do you change your hooks on a jerkbait to a bigger size or stick with the same size, just stickier? So it depends what you're doing. If you've got a suspending jerkbait, which is normally what I fish 90% of the time, unless I'm fishing like over grass and I want it to like get into it and then rise up. I don't really fish sinking jerkbaits much, but a good suspending jerkbait, you have to be careful if you change hook sizes because it's going to alter the suspension, I guess, of the bait. So, buoyancy. There we go. Yes. See, we got the smart guys on here to help me with words. Words are hard. You put too heavy or too big of hooks on, it's going to become sinking, right? So you just have to watch it and kind of play with it. One thing to think about is if you go to a short shank hook, you can often go up a size and be very close to weight. So if it comes with a long shank, number 6, which is a smaller hook, you can often upgrade to a number 4 hook, which is bigger, like the hook bend is bigger, but the shank of the hook, this part, like this is a short shank, the shank part of it here, this little piece here is shorter, and you can get away with that. So that's something to try. There's long, regular shank, short shank hooks. This might be a good, actually, yeah, here's a perfect way to show you. I think this is a size 4. So that's the difference there. A size 4 regular shank. Oh, hell, you're not going to be able to tell. But you can see that this one is just a little bit longer. Barely see the difference there. And those are both the same size hook. So if you compare like a long 6 to a short 4, but yeah, just be careful with that. What else? So do you guys see any good comments? What I want to hear more from you guys. I feel like I've been talking.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking through and watching as well.
Chronic, a good time of year to fish stick baits? Always. They're one of those baits that literally work all year long.
Yep.
All year. I mean, you can throw it on a wacky rig. You can throw a weightless stick bait. It's cold. It's warm. They're crazy. They catch fish all year long.
It's probably one of the most versatile. I mean, you can rig it. People are putting it on a mushroom head like a longer Ned, weightless, wacky. I've seen people drop shot it, it just catches fish.
It literally, you could just do anything and everything.
Yeah. I mean, Carolina rig, it don't matter.
So Pike and Tackle said 6 cents provoke and hog walla is amazing for me. Yeah, 6 cents provoke is an awesome jerkbait. I think it's like right at what, like $9?
Yeah, I think I've got 3 or 4 of them. That's what I was throwing a lot last year.
Yeah, I like those a lot. Somebody was asking about that versus the Vision 110. Everybody raves about the Vision 110, but I've actually just got some from a couple subscribers, funny enough. I've never spent $25 on a jerkbait because some things I will, like a big swim bait, if I think it's going to get me some, fancy fish where I can get to it. But jerkbaits, if I'm 8 feet down and lose it on the bank, like I'm screwed. I'm not.
Yeah.
So, but I've heard the Vision 110 is the best one. It's hard for me to spend $25 on a jerkbait.
I mean, I stick with like the basic, like I said earlier, the Bass Pro Shop, or like the what are they? I think they're the Rapala. Are they the Shad Wraps?
Yep.
I think.
Well, I do walleye fishing. Actually, Dad and I were talking about that. Dad's got a riverboat. What is it? 17 or 18 foot Alumacraft, deep V, extra wide. Good for rivers and stuff. I would love to. There was, God, I wasn't filming then. So probably 7 years ago, Dad and I went on the boat to Mississippi and got on an awesome crankbait bite for walleye. Damn, that was fun. It was the Gary Yamamoto, the blue and yellow. It's like a sexy shad color, 6 foot diver, and it was just barely ticking the bottom, just over this little hole. And I don't know, I caught probably 10 or 15 there. Dad and I both cranking. That was so much fun. But like trolling and stuff for walleye, I don't think that's fun at all. I don't like that. I got to be doing something.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I know just a couple of the places that we go to, Debo, I don't know if they just all got caught and kept and ate or what, but there's quite a few places where I've caught a good amount of walleye from the banks early in the season, like jerkbaiting too.
Yep.
So I see the Tackle Box Mike is asking. He lives up Minnesota. It says, what ideas do you guys have for the start of the bass opener? So probably when the hard water is gone and we're back to open water and starting to get out, what are your opening baits that it's kind of what we've been talking about a little bit, but I know one of the things that I tend to start, I'll either throw like a Nico or shaky head, but more often than not, the first fish of the year that I normally catch is on a swim bait with an underspin. I don't know why,
Really?
but just that happens to be the
Jim.
one.
Tackle Junkie, that's his go-to beginning of the year, always an underspin.
Yep.
Randy loves the underspin too.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on throwing some underspins this year. I think they're not quite as versatile as like a stick bait, but you can do a lot of different presentations with an underspin with a nice little soft plastic on there.
Jonathan asks, have you used that Hyperspool, the Hyperspeed, the fast one yet? No, we don't have open water yet. Speaking of, I just looked at the clock, more than an hour. So, all right, let's do a giveaway. And look who's in here. I can thank Gramps every time I do the giveaway. I always say thank you, Gramps, for showing me how to do this because it makes my life 8 million times easier doing this giveaway.
I just read the manual. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I don't. I'm a guy.
I'm really
I'm an IT guy, so I have to read the manual.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way. That came off kind of priggish. No, I'm just a normal guy that doesn't read them.
Yeah, you got that special kind of brain, Gramps. I got to be hands-on and doing it. I can't read books. I can read. Jeez, I can read.
No, you can't.
I know.
I'm just kidding. We love you. Okay, so hashtag spring. So if you want to be entered, I'm doing a custom DEBO. I haven't done one of these for quite a while. So this is like a DT 10-ish. Somebody said in the comments they go up to like DT 20. I don't know. DT 10s are all that I've got up to. I don't fish any deeper than that most of the time. But it is signed by the one and only DEBO. It's got a little purple flash on it, chartreuse, some spots. So I'm giving away that. I'll get you a Tackle Warehouse shirt because I've got like a box of them over here of extras. So I think I've got like large, extra large, maybe 2X is normally what I get. Anything outside of that, I'm probably not going to have it. So and I'll throw in a couple extra things, throw in some baits and such. So while that's running, let's do some more questions. Do we have any this or that? Do we have, gators. I just installed my speed spool bearings today, and man, it's smooth. Yeah, I need to do a video on that. Scott still sent me the a handle and some bearings to do.
I need to come over.
Yep, Randall, I'll put yours
this
in
next
as well.
week.
All right, let me know when.
Yeah.
Got love for Corrados. What else do we have? Oh yeah, Steve, the Inceptions. So yeah, I know that's one of the best. I think budget reels that people like a lot is the 13 Inception. I think it's like 115, right? 120.
So, yeah, somewhere around there.
Daniel asked, Gramps, when does spawn usually start there in Indiana for you guys?
Whenever I'm not on the water, apparently I can't. It seems like I always miss it.
It's quick, dude. If it's like you're in
cannot-
Iowa, it's quick. It goes quick.
Yeah, it's either always when it's raining, or I honestly I could not tell you the last time that I've seen a fish on the bed. It's
Really?
either rained and there's mud in the water, or probably May, sometime late May ish, but I haven't seen a bass on a bed in a long time. Now I'm going to be out in the boat a lot more this year. I say that knowing gas prices are going to go through the roof and I'll end up in the kayak. But, I actually bought the live scope to put in the boat, but with gas prices, I may put the live scope in the kayak just to see, but I can't, whenever they're spawning here in Indiana, I just don't see it. I miss it completely.
Yeah, it happens. Like Debo said, it's so fast. It seems like it usually happens when it's like, oh, Sunday. Okay, yeah, they should be Saturday, Sunday. They should start spawning. The temp's been right, the whole nine. And then something happens, and it's like Tuesday afternoon is like the special time, and they get done Tuesday late afternoon spawning, and they're just like, oh, we're done.
Yeah, those females are up there and gone. I'm not talking about like the smaller males, but if you want to catch those big girls, it's funny because saying that, talking about the 13 Inception, the last time we were at a southern Iowa lake, we were fishing. Randall and I were fishing with our buddy Matt, and he was trying to get this bedfish. It was probably an 8-pounder. It was a giant.
It was huge.
He spent like an hour on it. He couldn't get it to bite.
And it was spawned out too, wasn't it?
No, she was on her bed. She was getting ready to drop. She was late.
Oh yeah. Huge. God, he was on that thing forever, wasn't he?
Yeah, I felt bad. I'm like, dude, I hope he can, because he's like, oh my god, dude, this is gonna be my PB.
And then
Eliza,
you hornswoggled in on him.
no, I didn't hornswoggle. I was catching fish on the wacky rig. That's where I caught that fish.
That tiny fish.
Yeah, that little tiny fish, and got ready to throw it back, and that snake ate it when I threw it back in. Remember? Snake grabbed it as I threw it in. Yeah, man, it was dog eat dog world that day. But yeah, Eliza, I would say if you can get a Concept Z for 60% off, I think these were like 200 something. I know they had it for like $99 there for a while. I forget where it was, but I liked it. These have the like the orange seal bearings. These aren't Scott's spool speed, but I bought these from a buddy who was selling some reels, and these came with some orange covered ceramic bearings.
I want to say I used that one for a little bit, didn't I?
You did, yep. And you're like, this reel sounds kind of loud. Like, what's the deal? I'm like, oh, it's ceramic bearings. You're like, oh, it casts well, but it's kind of loud. Yeah, and that's one thing people don't like. That's what Scott was saying about the new, I forget what the name of his new ones are, the XCR. Oh, funny enough, this is a 13 fishing kit. But the XCRs are like his brand new ones that are supposed to be quieter, but still have that hybrid bearing, deal to them. So, John, what do you think? What do you guys think at the Bass Pro Shop rods and reels? I'll go first. The only one I've got is the Pro Qualifier, and I think it's How about you guys?
Isn't TJ a big fan of those?
He is. He's the reason I got it.
What?
Yeah, they had 50% off, and for $50, I will say that for $50, it's a steal of a deal. Aluminum frame reel, but
it's hard to beat because the sale's going on right now, isn't it?
I don't think they have them 50% off. Maybe they do, but I don't know.
This is the only one that I have. I haven't got to throw it yet because, again, weather. But yeah, I think it's going to be nice. The guy really, really sold it hard to me, and I was like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. I was already buying it. I'm like, what do you have in left-handed? That's the big part.
Yeah, I've heard good and bad. Kind of, it's almost like anything. The Johnny Morris, the Bass Pro Shop stuff is made in the same. It's the Doyo. Like the Luz. Yeah. Abu Garcia. It's the same stuff. But I don't know. I didn't like my. And in fairness, I will say I had the new, the gray and blue Pro Qualifier, which was like the limited edition or whatever. And a lot of people actually said that one was not as good as the older pro qualifiers. So I will give that there was a lot of people beside me saying that who had used them were saying they were not as good. So maybe that was part of the deal. But yeah, Jim Tackle Junkie swears by those older pro qualifiers. What else we got? I picked up some of the D-bombs, reaction tramp stamp. Oh, hey, we're talking, Chris. You are talking my language. The reaction innovation tramp stamp color, I love. Oh, Chris Russ. He's thanking my other Chris, my Iowa guy. Dix, look forward to trying new baits. Chris Russ, thanks for spreading the tramp stamp love. Such a good color. I love that color.
Actually
440.
These are the dirty Sanchez's.
Yeah, it's the green. It's like the green with the chartreuse belly, right? Kind of like your summer craw. Yeah, 440. You're absolutely correct. Knowledge is always better than equipment. Always. Yeah. But
and that's how you get better. Is time on the water or time at the water. You're going to learn every time you go. You should be learning something new. And a lot of times I tell people to take a notepad. Well, we have cell phones these days, but keep notes and have a history so that when you come back and look at some place that you're visiting later on, you'll remember what happened before and you have a place to start.
I just realized Gramps asked this question a while ago. This is from 8:15, and I answered that already. I'm only about a half hour behind on comments. Okay, well let's get our drawing pick. Then we're going to keep going. We're going to do maybe some this or that. I'm going to have to skip down to something a little bit more recent. Actually, I'm going to do that now because we've only got. How do we only have 170? What is that? 177 entries. Come on, let's get that to 180. Debo crank. We got to get at least to 180 for a Debo custom, one of a kind, only found here. Tack Warehouse shirt and some other gear I'll throw in. Okay. We're going to skip ahead unless I see any this or that. I think Jeremy's asked this a few times. Taco John's or Taco Bell? So, funny story. Dad and I went to get Taco John's because he was craving it during like the first couple Iowa football games of this season. And that stuff was so good. The chicken street tacos are ridiculously good with the tater olays. So now it's a custom that every time there's an Iowa game on a Saturday, we get Taco John's. I don't know. Funny, but.
So, I don't know if you enjoyed it, if you didn't. They had the Mexican pizzas for a long time at Taco Bell, and they went away for some reason. And enough people like just bombarded Taco Bell relentlessly that they brought them back like a couple of days ago, I think, or something like that. Thanks for reminding me of that, though. But it depends. Breakfast is really good at Taco John's if you guys have that option. If they still do it, I don't even know if they do or not.
Breakfast? Like what? Breakfast burritos?
Yeah.
Oh, I like breakfast
Amazing.
burritos. Jim's in the house. I missed it. That was 8:24. I don't know if he's still in here. Jim, love you, brother. Thanks for jumping in. Jim is a good guy. Jim has helped me a lot on YouTube and other stuff. So I got to give thanks where thanks is due. Jim, thank you very much, dude.
We don't have any Taco John's in my small town. We have Taco Bell and 2 authentic Mexican restaurants.
You really like can't ever be authentic.
Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, we got 195. I think we're here's a good one. We'll answer this one, then we'll draw. Midwest Fisherman, this or that. The Jika rig or the Zika rig or Jika rig or free rig. Me, I'm going the Jika rig. I tried it for a little bit, and I actually had one good day, and then I kind of stopped fishing it with a paddle tail swim bait on there, slow rolling it one spring. That was the only time I had luck with it, and it was kind of a pain in the butt for me ever since then.
I don't know what it is.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, because you're going to say what I was going to say. Go for it.
No, I was saying I don't know what that rig is. I'm going free rig because it's awesome, but what is? Yeah,
I was going to say free rig for me.
There's the brakes on a 13 anyway, in case anybody was wondering.
Devo's like, yeah, I broke the plate off the side, so I can show you now, I guess.
No, this is one cool thing. I like when companies do that. If they have where you have to get into the reel, make sure it's attached because I don't want to get in there and drop it. I have done that.
Doesn't matter where you are, it's falling in the water.
Yeah, it's never good. Okay, hold on. We got 199. We need one more. I'm OCD. We got to have 200.
Come on, somebody get to 299. I don't have to enter.
Somebody's got to do it. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're drawing. Here we go. I am sharing, right? All right, here we go. Here we go. DEBO bait, a tackle warehouse shirt, some other baits. And the winner is Ben Rifflard. Ben Rifflard.
Present to win.
Yeah, must be present to win. Never say it, but you have to be. So Ben, we'll see. Let's see. Are there any other this or that? Mr. Taylor, how are you, brother? Double willows or tandem? You know, I honestly, for me, it's more of like a size, profile, and color thing. Like I don't get stuck on the blades as much as I probably should. I probably fish a Willow Colorado the most, just because that's what I have the most. I know Alex Rudd was talking about how like the Colorado blades will mimic a bluegill more, whereas the Willow mimic like a shad, that vibration and shape. For me, it's like how big is my
Ben's still
spinnerbait?
here. Sorry.
Is he here? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So that's kind of me, Dustin. I know you probably get into it a lot more than I do, and I would love to pick your brain on that. But how about you, Gramps? Do you get into that a lot?
I throw mostly double willows. I mean, I think it's just ever since like Terminators and, you know, the Strike Kings. I guess I have some that are kind of tandems, but I probably throw double willow more than anything because I generally will throw them only when the chatterbait or jackhammer doesn't seem to be doing it for me, but it's always doing it for me, so I rarely have to pick a spinnerbait up. I probably did throw a spinnerbait maybe but 3 or 4 times last year. I'll throw them early in the year, but once I get a jackhammer bite going, that's pretty much what I live by.
Ben, since you're still in here, can you please send me an email to the email below, debosfishing@gmail.com, and send me a screenshot of your profile that you're on right now. It can be from your phone or computer, just something showing like your name where you can comment, because I have had people, since I call them out now, I haven't had anybody try to do it, but I did have a couple of people one night trying to steal the giveaway, being like, oh, I want it. And I'm like, well, can you send me a screenshot? And they're like, oh, it was a different channel and stuff. Come on, fish friends. Don't be trying to take advantage of Debo. So Ben, just send me a screenshot. Yeah. Randy, just send me a screenshot, Ben, of your YouTube and then your address, and I will get that out to you hopefully next week because I want to stay on top of giveaways, not 2 months behind.
So Tackle Box Mike is asking if we can show him what an underspin is.
Man, if Jim was on, he could. He owns every single Picasso underspin ever made. That's why nobody can buy them anymore.
Oh, geez.
Yes, we can. Mr. Mike, we can.
I figured one of you would have one close by. Mine are all laying out on the boat.
Here, I've got actually a cool one. So if y'all watch my unboxing, I got some stuff from I put it in the Tackle Warehouse unboxing. Little did I know it was actually from Tackle Direct. And my guy, I don't know, Chaunch, if you're in here, my buddy John told me about it because Tackle Direct was going out of business. So I picked up a reel and then some lures. And one of the things I got was this, which are these little tandem. Let me take it out because I've got a glare. These cool little tandem willow blades that you can put like on your line. Real small.
Oh, yeah.
Regular line, so you can have like a jerk bait and have a couple things off of it, or stick bait, all kinds of stuff. But I've got an old Cumberland underspin. So normally your underspin is just this. It's a swim bait head, and it's got a little like spinnerbait blade that's going to spin down here. But this one I put on, so this is like a mini A-rig, triple bladed dragon slaying underspin.
Mongoose.
Yeah, mongoose. I don't know. It looks kind of cool, but that's what I got. Randy, how about you? What do you got there?
Yeah, I thought I had, because I bought some stuff today, and I thought I picked up some underspins, but I just got like a weighted swim bait hook with none of the blades. I know I have some somewhere. I just don't know where they are. But I love them. I feel like the other good thing, like Debo, that one that you just had, I could tell that that bait wasn't the full size as it was when it came out of the package. So if you do need to, I mean, you can modify that to make it bigger. You can make it smaller, or you can't really make it bigger, but you can make it smaller if you need to.
You could mend it stuff on there.
Oh, dang it. Yeah.
Another use for mend it. Put that on your 150 uses for mend it. Hey guys, got a swim bait that's too small. Well, hell, I got some extra plastic here. I'm gonna make it bigger.
Just go to the bed of your truck and find all those little pieces of lures you
Full
bit
plastics.
off and spit in there. Grab some of them.
Chad, spinnerbait or chatterbait? He's the former. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's got to be spinnerbait. I've been a spinnerbait fan. It was my first confidence lure growing up, and it's still a top 3 for me. So, spinnerbait for me. We already know what Gramps is going to say.
Chatterbait. Chatterbait.
Chatterbait.
Yep.
Gramps? Oh, go ahead, Randall.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like I'm kind of moving more towards chatterbait.
Oh.
Yeah, I do throw both, but I feel like I am getting close. Like I'm looking at the pile of stuff I bought, and I see 4 chatterbaits sitting over there and 1 spinnerbait.
Yeah, Gramps, so as somebody who throws the jackhammer a lot, so I know it, and I agree, it's it's more consistent, starts out right away. Can you tell a definite difference in like the vibration, the sound? Like what do you think makes the jackhammer so much better?
Realistically, when they talk about like the components and whatnot that go into it, I mean, I tell people I only throw the jackhammer if I'm fishing in a tournament. If I'm just, fishing for fun or whatever, the Chatterbait Elite is my favorite one because it's only a couple bucks more than the regular Chatterbait that you'll get at Walmart for, $4. But it's hand tied. It's got more options for colors. And as you know, you're a fan of the cross eyes because it's got the 2 little guards that makes it great for bank anglers. I will actually throw it. I mean, I've got mine from the Monster Bass box, right here. And, you're talking about the reds, the big bite bait swim on, and then the shads that came with it.
Did that all come in the Monster box?
In the Monster Bass box, it's a really good combo as well, but there's probably, man, there's so many different, you got football head size. I only stick with 3 generally. I mean, realistically, the generic Walmart chatterbait, because it still catches fish all day, the Chatterbait Elite, and then the jackhammer. But then they've got some with football heads because, the pros wanted something that looked more realistic. You've got the one that's like a football head. Now we have the big blade. You have the mini.
Do you ever use the?
Do we need that many?
The wobbly type
different
of one. What is that one?
Which one?
It's got it's not a connected jig head to the actual shank of the hook. It's got like a wobble head with like a little connecting.
That's the CFL. That one came in the Monster Bass box when they did the Googan takeover. When they did the Z-Man takeover. But I mean, I don't think. I think some of those baits that made that box were some that weren't as popular in a lot of places. But I mean, I throw a football head quite a bit, so I can see the use for it. But I know Ruben asked the question, "What's my favorite weight?" I'll throw the 3/8 the vast majority of the time. I have a few halves, and I have got some of the big blade ones, just because, like I said, this year I want to try. I've got some pits that the bass go deep in the summertime, so I want to get down in there. But when it comes to the different, the key thing is, and Ty Berger who was on with Debo last night on Rud's channel, Bass Fishing HQ. He's got some really good videos where he puts the chatterbaits underwater, and you hear the difference between a jackhammer, a chatterbait, the stealth blade, and then I think he did one with the big blade and maybe the mini as well. So they each have a little bit of different sound and a little different tone. And I saw somebody this or that at the jackhammer and the Thunder Cricket, and those are 2 very similar. Strike King licensed the connection from Z-Man because they work together with, making skirts and things like that too. But the Thunder Cricket, it's a little bit different because if you the connection on it swivels up and down. So that's just a little bit different. And then they use a little bit different shape of blade, which makes it just a little bit different from a jackhammer. So it's kind of just a little bit different pitch. Yep. Oh, there's
adrenaline craws that we were talking about earlier. Sorry, I forgot I had.
Yep. And so a lot of those just make really good trailers on the back of all the different, but each one sounds a little different. And then I know a lot of people talk about the other bladed jigs out there, but if your bladed jig has the little split ring on it, you're not getting the exact same thing, because a lot of people think that the big difference with jackhammers and chatterbaits is the vibration, but what they're leaving out is that direct connection, is that blade actually hitting off of the head of the jackhammer. So it's a combination of the vibration, but it's also the sound of that blade hitting,
that clicking
side to side on those heads when it goes through the water, just like DEBO'S showing there.
Yep.
So that's why I don't get into all the other ones that have like the split rings and things like that. That's why I pretty much stick with the original. I like the Thunder Cricket too, because it's basically the same thing, just a little bit subtle differences.
Hey, Gramps, do you ever go with like a skirtless or a naked chatterbait with just a trailer on the back of it?
Not really, because most often a lot of people will fish a chatterbait like they will a spinnerbait, where they just cast it out, pull it in. But for me, I will cast it out, and then I like to give it some pops because I want that skirt flaring. And that's, from throwing spinnerbaits, you guys know how effective that is. That little pause, that flare of the skirt. And a lot of times that's when you get, when that hit comes, it could be chasing, but when you pause and flare that skirt a bit, that's when that bass just wants to smash it.
Yeah, I know I had a couple of older, like real old chatterbaits that the skirt just kind of dissolved on it and probably got mixed with some bad plastic or something. And I was just like, okay, well, I'll just throw this with like a, bigger paddle tail or something like that on there. And I actually had some pretty good luck on it too.
And I think a lot of people started doing that, and that's why we saw like the willow vibe and these naked chatterbaits kind of come out. And I've seen people say they throw like a tube on the back of it or whatnot as well. But when Z-Man came out with that willow, it's like they did the same thing, but with a little willow leaf blade, and it's a smaller profile. But that's, again, another one of those. And I saw the Monster Bass had Chad Hoover do a video for them on the Willow Vibe, talking about another one of those beginning of the season kind of baits. So it's good to see Monster Bass reaching out to more and more people to kind of bring them in and do videos on the stuff they're putting in the boxes.
Yeah, that's something. Pike love a naked chatter. That's something we've had good luck on up here.
Yep.
And people, and I don't know, Gramps, what you normally put on, razor shad, I think you said you do a lot, but people talk bad about like using a paddle tail. And I've had a paddle tail is honestly what I go to most of the time on a chatterbait, unless I'm trying to go finesse, like a fluke or some sort of stick, like taily, like the Hog Farmer, the spunk shad, which Randy loves to say spunk shad for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I haven't. And
I remember it was either Davey Hyde or one of the other pros. They talk about if you like the paddle tails, you rig them upside down. The reason why that you don't generally want to put them on normal is it'll make your chatterbait rise. So if you put it on upside down, that way you're controlling the depth with your speed or rod tip. And that's why they make, like, if you look at the diesel minnows, it's kind of it's not the round tail, it's kind of a flat. And that's like with the Yamamoto Seiko, it's more of a tail. It is, so it's really just to keep the bait from rising in the water column. So you're kind of, and that's why so many people like the Spunk Shad and a lot of those other ones.
Gramps, have you tried a Trench Hog Junior on a chatterbait?
No, I haven't, but that would be, there's a good looking.
Yeah, this is an old one. I used to throw these a ton on chatterbaits. This is from Lake Fork, and I kind of got away from it. I put in a huge order with them, and stuff's kind of dwindling. I don't know why I got away from it, but yeah, it's the same thing as like the Razor Shad, and the Lake Fork stuff is cool because they cut. It's sort of focusing. They cut, so it really wants to do this, but there's no paddle tail on it, so it's not fighting against it. It's literally just vibrating to whatever that chatterbait's doing. So, but if you use like a Reaction Innovations like Little Dipper or Skinny Dipper bit down, it's not an overbearing paddle tail. You know, it's not like a big Kitech paddle tail on it. So if you use something that doesn't have a bunch of like vibration itself that's going to fight the chatterbait. I love a paddle tail. And you look at any of the pros, there's a ton of pros that, Ott Defoe was showing. It was an older MLF where he was mimicking shad, had a paddle tail on the back of it, so people that just say, oh, if you use a paddle tail, you're stupid. People literally told me that. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. To each his own. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, sometimes I think the pros use what baits that their companies make. I mean, if I've learned anything, the bass just want that jackhammer, and I don't know that the trailer always makes it. But as somebody who tries to study as many of the different pros, if they're throwing techniques that I know I like, I try to absorb as much. And that's why we talk a lot about different rods for chatterbaits. It's like Hellabass, he doesn't like the glass, and I like the glass heavy fast action. But the Victory rod that I've literally got sitting over here is not glass. So I'm going back and trying something new. So, my first chatterbait rod was the St. Croix Mojo Rip and Chatter, which was a glass rod. Well, this Victory Rip and Chatter from St. Croix is not glass. So I'm going to try, something, again, every year I try to try something different because like you guys, if we're doing this and making videos on stuff, we're trying to help other people catch fish and learn, from, kind of what we may do as well. So, trying different things, learning different things too.
Okay. So I'm making sure I'm not showing the name, but I'm actually going to have, once we get the, what the hell's going on? Shut up, Randy. I need my Shut Up Randy shirt. Okay, if we know any makers that can help me get a Shut Up Randy shirt made.
Debo, you can sell so many shirts, dude.
I know, I got to get on it. I'm hopefully one step closer. Okay, so I can't show all of it here because I don't want to show.
Something changed. Yeah, you may have to just tell us.
Okay,
Here,
anyway.
don't do it.
So I was talking to a rod company actually the other day, to one of the guys there that helps design, make, do all the stuff with the rods, and we were literally just talking about a graphite or a composite, a graphite only versus a composite, like with the glass in it rod. And I had some questions on it. Super nice company. TFO is the company, and hopefully I will be able to have them on to talk this, because we literally, I ended up calling and talking to them, and we talked for probably 45 minutes on the graphite versus glass composite versus other rod stuff. It was such a cool conversation. At the end, I was like, hey, would you ever be interested in coming on a live and sharing this information with people? And the gentleman was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'd love to. So hopefully we'll be able to get them on and pick their brain, because super nice folks. Y'all saw I did an unboxing of one of the rods, and they reached out to me to thank me and stuff for doing that, the review. Super nice folks. So hopefully we'll be able to get them on.
Now I need to try out some more of those too, because I've seen a lot of the ones that like the tactical with the wind grip and all that too, and I find those really interesting. And I was doing some research because, I'm not really deep into but I like the how-to stuff. So one of the cool things that TFO does, I know they started with who is it? Was it Loomis?
Oh,
I think Loomis was the one who helped them.
Yeah,
no,
I don't remember if it was Loomis or
I think it was Loomis who, because he's got edge rods out now, but I think he had a hand in the Tackle Fork Outfitters getting started. But when I won this Heroes on the Water TFO rod a couple falls ago, and it's the first one I ever had. I was like, man, this thing's really nice. And I wanted to start. One of the things I do like to do is I like to figure out how they make rods. So like with St. Croix, you can go on their YouTube channel and you watch and you see how they roll the blanks and do everything. Well, TFO, they have a group in South Korea that rolls their blanks. And I mean, these dudes are all like super engineer, it's real techie, but they walk through everything on how the blanks are formed out and rolled and, everything that kind of goes into it. So I thought that was really cool of TFO, even though it's overseas, South Korea is a good, partner of ours. And it's really cool watching how, from start to finish, every part and piece is put together. So I've often said that I need to go check out TFO a lot more. I know Steve Chapman, he was partnered with Shimano for, Get Your Fish On, who's on with Mr. Bass. Steve is partnered now with TFO. So I'm really interested to see what he's got coming up, with them to check out more of the rods. And then I know one of the Monster Bass guys fishing the Lone Star throws a lot of TFO rods.
Fishing the Lone Star and
you
Ben.
see him quite a bit, and I definitely want to check him out.
Yeah, Fishing the Lone Star and Ben Nowak were the first two that I had saw using their stuff last year or whatever it was when I got it. I'm like, man, that because they Ben was showing that Tactical Elite, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get one of those. That's a slick looking rod. And
yeah, it's slick. I like the way it looks.
One thing before I forget, I've skipped over it. Somebody asked, where can we find your guys' channel? So I didn't even think of introducing you, Gramps. I'm sorry, you've been on before. So for those of you who don't know Gramps, Fishing with Gramps, who are you? Where can they find you?
YouTube.com/fishing with Gramps. It's not fishing, it's fishing. But yeah, I'm just an old ex-Army dude with 3 veteran sons now, and I'm big into. Just to give you the quick 30 seconds. I'm big into veteran recreational fishing. I try to drag every veteran that I know to get into fishing, to kind of distract away from things that have gone on in the past. So big into kayak fishing, and I have a boat, so I boat fish as well. You're going to be seeing a lot more of my 3 sons because they all got out of the Army this last year. So, the Gramps part comes from a teaching video that I did because I had a single mom ask me as COVID was starting. She went fishing with her dad. She's got a little boy now. She loved fishing. She knows how to fish, but she didn't know all the ins and outs. So I promised that I would spend time last year doing some how-to basic, beginner videos. And, it's kind of blossomed from there. So, yeah, that's kind of where it is. And I have fun doing it. And I love talking about fishing. And I've got 3 granddaughters. And, the biggest joy I had in a long time was taking my oldest granddaughter out, catching her first bluegill. So that was a special day. So that's where Fishing with Gramps come from.
Love it, Gramps. Randy, how about you? What's your YouTube channel?
You're breaking up. What was that?
As
Walmart
Randy's sitting as one of the highest subscribed channels who's never put out a video. I'll put both of their channels in the description below so you guys can go subscribe to them. I can never remember Randy's offhand, but Dave, Mr. Dave Washburn.
Fishing, I think.
Dizzle's fishing.
Yeah, I think it's another IN. I'm not 100% sure. Underscore.
I'm gonna look you up here, see if we can find you while we're answering. Dave Washburn, War Eagle or Picasso spinnerbaits? I don't own a single Picasso spinnerbait. I own a lot of War Eagles and like them a lot. So I'm War Eagle.
100%.
I got to say, I was thinking of Dizzle when the War Eagle jig won the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah,
and the name of the jig, the jig, what was it, the Jig Jitsu or something? I was like, that's genius. Jiu-jitsu, that's what it was.
Do you guys remember, since we were on the topic of spinnerbait, I was going to ask this earlier. I think it was like Strike King, and I know there's a bunch of other lure makers, but they did the good old-fashioned, I think the biggest one I saw had 4 different blades on it, 4 tiny willows.
Looked like a sailboat.
Yeah.
Every time people were saying that every time they go search Dizzle's fishing, hold on. I search Dizzle fish, and everybody says this is what they get when they search it. I just, hold on. I just searched it, and this is what I got too. I'm pretty sure this actually is Randy. This was me and Randy. This was me and Randy looking for crabs. This was Randy shooting his bow. This was Randy catching some good tarpon. Oh, look, hey, there's old DEBO'S.
Was that the no, that's YouTube. I thought, do you remember that time I saw some random chat room or blog thread or something that was just had a bunch of your videos on it, and I sat there and watched them, and one of them was the fishing down south with all the snakes.
Oh, with Matt. Yeah, our buddy Matt's horribly afraid of snakes. So we went to this lake, and literally every dock, floating, they weren't floating docks, they were I don't know, man-made docks, nice docks. Every one we went to had 5 or 6 snakes crawling out, and he was screaming like a girl.
It was
He's like, I hate snakes. And it was crazy that day.
About 1,000 snakes.
Yeah, it was a funny day. I'll keep searching here. Yeah, I don't know why the hell I can't find. I put Dizzle fishing, and it only wants to show me Darcizzle.
Do underscore Dizzle fishing.
Underscore? Oh, is it
fishing?
Fishing?
I know I'm subscribed to it somewhere.
Yeah, I found it once. Now I can't find it. I don't know.
I'm
YouTube.
I'm
Hey, they're
terrible at
not
that.
going to show you. More questions. I'll be cognizant of time here. I know Gramps. Are you an hour ahead or are you central?
Debo, have you guys ever played with any of these? The Nico baits, the little Helgramites?
I've got some. I need to do an unboxing, but
Oh,
it
you've
wasn't
thrown
Nico.
Helgramites once before, huh?
Yeah, I've thrown
It was a
Helgramites
Tokyo
twice.
Helgramite.
Not from Nico baits, but I've thrown the Tackle HD Nico or the Helgramite on a Tokyo rig, and both times I've caught a snapping turtle. So,
I guess for like creek fishing, I don't know if you guys, because I think most I've seen are you guys normally around, lakes and ponds like that versus creeks. But I know a lot of the guys around here that creek fish, they throw these things and just tear them up. I mean, it's insane how many fish they catch on them.
Like I know we have those little bugs around here too, Debo. I know I've seen them around the river at nighttime.
Yep, yeah, they're a river deal. Yeah, I've heard they destroy. Time. Yeah, they're kind of weird. They're kind of gross looking little things. They remind me of earwigs. There's only 2 bugs I'm scared of. Ticks, actually 3. Ticks, mosquitoes, and earwigs. 4. Ugh, those earwigs are disgusting. You'll be outside working and you actually knock into your fence and like 7,000 of those things fall out and you're like, ugh. Hate them. Here's a good one. Chris, this or that, missile baits, D-bomb, or X-Zone adrenaline craw? I'd have to go the D-bomb just because I put more time in with it. I just got some of the adrenaline stuff. That's what these are last year, but
I haven't used hardly any adrenaline stuff.
I'm just the opposite. I used them a lot last year. It's like once I caught the first good fish on it, I threw the adrenaline craw like on everything.
Yeah, I was going to ask, were you just like Texas rigging it or were you using it as a trailer?
You use it on a trailer, use it as a Texas rig. Threw it when the cicadas were hitting, I had like a green pumpkin and a really red flake. And I would throw that into the trees where the cicadas were falling in the water. I mean, I was killing them.
Really?
Hey, does that brood happen this year, Debo? Or is that like 7 more years or something?
No, that was we had the one that was like 37 years and that's over now.
We missed it though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's not as often. You still get some cicadas, but not like what we saw this year.
Crazy.
Black Sunday Joel wants to know if I've ever used the rattling Ned from Googan. Watch the video I put out tomorrow.
That's one of their baits I really do like. That one in the trench hog.
Yeah.
Ever since you ruined it for me, Gramps. Now I don't like the trench hog anymore.
The trench hog junior.
Can't look at the trench hog. Don't look at the nuke punch.
You can't unsee what you can't unsee.
It looks like a stubby.
Oh my god. And Gramps. Well, there we go. He's here all night, folks.
I gotta plant those seeds, baby.
Oh Lord. Oh, and he's still rolling. Hey, Jeremy says Debo fishing shirts and hats would be awesome. Yeah, I've got a design. Randy's
There's
buddy.
a giant list of merch that people want. I saw bibs,
really?
Like floaters, waders, fanny packs, members only jackets.
Oh, so that's something I need to do. The Burley Bunch made me look horrible. This is one Randy's buddy actually drew this. He's a tattoo artist. And that thing turned out freaking sick. Randy, I thank you so much for that. So I need to get that on a shirt because that's an awesome logo.
Yeah,
he was like, you could put that on the front of a shirt, and on the back you put all the hashtag Debo Dink. You put shut up Randy. You could have you would have so many good shirts, dude.
I want to just.
I don't think you can do shut up Randy. That might be what's it called?
Oh, that might be from yeah, you're probably right. Shut up, Randy.
Yeah, do it, Debo. Put that on there.
I'll do shut up Randizzle. They don't know any Randizzles.
Yeah, you can do a shut up Dizzle. That'd work.
What else we got? Okay, we've still got 300. I can't believe we still have 315 people in here. Y'all are crazy. Hour 45.
Somebody wanted to know about the new Googan Blazing Worm. That's too new. It's
never heard of it.
I haven't seen a whole lot of anything of the new stuff. I guess they went like crazy with terminal everything. A worm, tungsten weights, tungsten paste.
Yeah, that'll be in a video I put that launches about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I've got a pretty decent size unboxing tomorrow.
Jeremy asked a good question. Well, it wasn't a question. He says, "Crick fish. What do you call like little tiny streams and stuff in the backcountry where y'all are from?" I grew up calling them cricks. Like we had a crick out back that we'd go fish. Now it seems like everybody calls them creeks, or just a little river.
A little stream, a babbling brook.
Was that your cat? Was that your cat that just fell down and knocked stuff off again, Gramps?
That was my wife walking in, just
Gran?
blasting the door open.
Get
They thought
Gran
the
in
cat
here.
was falling out the window again.
Hey, Gran.
Again? When did you let her?
You got to come over here now. Gran's got the. I don't know why Gran has a coffee pot
How
full of.
much do you want morning?
Oh, she's setting the coffee pot for tomorrow.
Because I love
Oh.
You got to come over and say hi now.
Come
DEBO'S
say
only
hi,
got
Hi.
DEBO'S only got 100,000 people to watch his channel. Come on over.
No.
she's
Love you,
pointing.
Debo.
She's pointing to her face, going, "No."
Love you, Debo.
You know what
Love
I
you
need to
too,
do
Gran.
though. I don't know if you guys saw Bass Geek with his wife on. I need to get her
That'd be fun.
and Hank and me and her. That would be a funny live stream. I'm supposed to be on with Bass Geek tomorrow, by the way.
Break you.
Oh yeah, you two would probably kill us
We
both.
would break you.
All right,
Oh, jeez.
she's getting the coffee pot. Right.
Jokes
I
aside.
will break
That's
you.
plenty. That's thank you.
I
Perfect.
love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love
Can't get that anywhere else. She's obviously feeling a little better. Can't you
That's
tell?
good. I love it. I love it. People don't
She
know
is
how
so
lucky you are
close to
feel
being
like
done
that.
with all of this. I can't wait. Can't
Good.
wait.
Thoughts and prayers out to Gran. Paul said,
Yeah.
"How do you?"
I'm so happy.
how do you-
So happy.
I love you.
Love you too, baby.
Bye.
She's a gopher. So that's what I have to deal with.
Oh, that
Do
sucks.
not say it like that. What is wrong with you?
If I get her on the phone with somebody from Minnesota, I get 20 minutes of comedy gold every time.
Gopher. The hell is a gopher? We're gophers. Not a gopher.
See the problems you're into when
Gophers.
you're not a Hawk fan. These crazy gophers and
Yeah,
Hoosiers over there.
she's a Minnesotan girl.
Don't do it.
Done.
Don't do it.
Paul says, "How do you unhook a snapping turtle?" Paul, the answer is extremely carefully. Actually, if you watch the video, I'll have to link it down below for anybody wanting to know how to unhook a snapping turtle. Get ready to lose a finger because it was really close, but I did get it off. That was kind of my
Just me.
my challenge that day was to make sure I got that snapping turtle off. It was kind of a personal vendetta.
And you have to use a Steve Irwin impression at least twice.
Yeah, I didn't have a good Steve. I was just fearful of losing
God.
my fingers.
I can't believe you got that in. 10, 12-pound test on that? And it was like a
That's 15.
15, but that was a very large turtle.
It was a large turtle. Yeah. Okay. So here's another thing. Manitoba. So people are asking me about hats and stuff. So I went searching for hat places. That's my thing is I don't want to get a hat that is like printed, like with the, the plasticky stuff because it like crackles off. I want it to be embroidered. So that's like one thing that's holding me back. I don't know where to find that because I want to have it all done in one spot. Y'all know how bad I am sending out giveaways, let alone if I were to try to sell merch and stuff, I'd be like a year behind on sending any merch out. So it has to be somebody that like can handle all the shipping. Like you do the orders through them. I don't have to touch it. Not that I don't want to, but I literally don't have the time. And it's
hard. It's hard to find because I've been working on getting mine done.
It is.
And I've got somebody local, but right now with the supply chain the way it is, I can't get the style of hat that I wanted because I love the black camo, but every time they think they would get it in, they're like, oh, it's, they're telling us, it's going to be June now. So yeah, it's never easy. I mean, we want to, I'm like you, everybody, when they ask for it, you want to provide since people are asking for it, but it's just not that easy these days, but yep, it's still fun. But you've got so many root beer, Crick.
Philip, my buddy Philip. Philip's a good dude. Philip's somebody that I've met through. Okay, so here's a short story of me and Philip. Philip is a guy that I literally only met online. We've kind of become online buddies, talking back and forth. Philip's actually somebody who's helped me shop for my wife's Christmas. He works at a place that has cool stuff. He helped me pick out my wife's Christmas presents. He's sponsored two shows and giveaways now, one of which you saw, the blueback herring video, another one coming up. And he's a good supporter, as you can tell. He knows that Debo goes fishing in the old Root Beer Creek. So what's what happens when you grow up in small Iowa? You say stuff wrong. You can't help it.
That sounds like the name of that sounds like a bait color name, just Root Beer Creek.
Oh, Root Beer Creek. Yeah, Slew is another one. Somebody said, yeah, pike and tackle Slew is what we call them. Camera, will I do any catfishing? No, catfishing is not really my deal. Like, I hate throwing a line out and sitting. Like, it's so boring to me.
No.
I know there's a ton of channels. My buddy Nick Randall, who he and Marling taught me basically everything I know about soft bait making, are big fans of another. He's either from Iowa or Illinois. Why can I not think of the name? He wears a Chicago Cubs hat, and I've watched some of his videos. It's not like he does a ton of catfishing and stuff. It's not really for me, but I know he's super popular now. It's God, somebody will know it, but Nick is a huge fan of him. He's got really cool content if you like catfishing, I guess is what I was trying to get at, if you want to watch somebody that does that. And I can't think of it. Somebody will comment and let me know. Christ, I can't even think of what his name is. Yeah, Chris, I do say cattywampus. Yep. River certified. There we go. Yep. Thank you, Chris.
Man.
River certified. I don't know if he's Iowa or Illinois, but yeah, I know he's good buddies with those guys. He's got good stuff. What else we got? We're at an hour 50. Gramps, you got to get off? We got 5 more minutes. We got a couple questions.
Oh, I'm good.
All right. Grant's getting the coffee ready for him. He's got a couple minutes. What do we have, y'all? Ask us each a question. It can be this or that. It can be explain it. We're each going to take one question. We each have to pick one, and then we're getting out of here.
Debo, is it River certified?
Yeah, River certified is.
They're still just coming in River certified.
Yeah, I think some of them come like the answers are a little bit delayed or whatever.
All right, I got mine. Ready?
Okay.
Bradley White just popped up. Best braid line.
Best brand line.
Best braid. I think it. Brett. Oh my god.
See, I told you can't read.
Yes.
He's proven it. I told y'all Randy can't.
I don't have my
read.
glasses on either. God, leave me alone. Best brand line.
Okay, you picked
Gramps,
it.
I'd
You
like
go
to
first.
hear yours. Your answer to this, just because I'm pretty sure I know DEBO'S. Maybe it flicks and flips quite often.
You pick the question. You go first, Randall.
What's
your favorite?
I mean, I like Seagar. I like Red Label. I'm anxious to try this basics to see how that goes. And then P-line, I haven't used a whole lot of it other than the Assassin, Tactical Assassin P-line, I believe.
Just the P-line Tactical. Yep.
Yeah.
Assassin's
besides that.
Sunline.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I would have to go Seagar overall.
Okay.
It's budget and my favorite.
Gramps, how about you? Best brand of line. Do you have a favorite brand or a couple?
I like Seagar. I mean, I've started using them a couple years ago. I've actually got some of the new basics that I'm going to test out this year. Since they just launched that, I really kind of want to see how it holds up. I normally use the Invisics or the Abrasics around heavier, and then I'll use the Red Label for crankbaits. But I want to give the basics a run just to see if it's how it holds up.
Yep, Rainey and I were both excited to try that as well.
Yeah, I actually got it spooled up on one of these reels over here.
Nice. I'm kind of all over the place. I would say my favorite is the P-line Tactical. It's soft, it casts well, it's strong. It's not budget though. So when it comes to best budget line, used to be the Seagar Red Label, but they upped that in price, I think, to like $13. So the basics is now $9. So that's why Randy and I were both excited to try it. When it comes to braid, I think my favorite all-around braid, like budget braid, is the Daiwa J braid. Good price. I've not had issues with it. I know Randy likes the Power Pro. And then mono, I've just started using more of the P-line, the Topwater I really liked last year. But by far, my favorite Topwater mono is the Trilene XL Red Box. Crystal clear blue. You can tell it's different than everything else we have it on. I love it.
100%. I would agree with that 10,000%. That stuff is amazing.
And it's my old man still uses it. I mean, he's got a couple reels, but he still prefers mono on most everything, you know, old school. And that's what's fun about it. There's not one right way to fish. So,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I found my this or that question.
okay, well, what time and who?
10:25. Jeremy Breed.
Jeremy Breed. Got it.
So this is going to be a half and half.
What?
So half Googan Squad, half Googan Baits. For the Googan Baits, I like their soft plastics over, you know, like any of their hard baits or anything, but I like their soft plastic. So
no, I think he's asking you, do you pick the Googan Squad?
I know what he's asking, but for me, it's going to be a half and half answer because I got a little story. I got a little story to tell you too. So the Googan Baits half, I like their soft plastics and I like the jigs. Now the Googan Squad, again, half, because I like Lake Fork Guy. I like John B because he puts together some of the most cinematic, make you want to go fishing. And I also still follow Alex Perrick. Now Perrick is the oddity in all of them, and he took basically a year off. And for those who don't know, the Googan Squad sold a good percentage of their company, and you know the original guys are all pretty well off. Well, a lot of the guys just went on life as normal, right? Well, Perrick is a little bit different. Perrick has always been a little bit different, but now he's a young adult, and I think in my own head that he's struggled with the success that they've achieved.
Oh yeah.
And so a lot of people think he kind of went off the deep end, bought a van, moved down to the river, but he's been gone for a while, and he's recently started coming back and posting, I call them eclectic videos. He's doing a little kind of comedy, but all this. But here's the funny thing. Recently he posted a video and he made some random off the wall comment. And so I dropped a comment on his video about, you know, what I think, and maybe he's kind of struggling a little bit and finding himself and this and that. And of course, he has no idea who I am. I'm just another viewer as far as he's concerned. And he said, this comment made my day. Can I take you fishing? So I said, you know, hey, my you know, Gran is dealing with some things, but, you know, come springtime, she should be, you know, a little better. And I would love to, you know, to come fish, you know, somewhere. So we'll see if that turns into something someday, but that could be a pretty interesting little adventure. So you just never know.
Dude, you never. That's one thing, Mac. I didn't get to Mac's question. I was going to answer that, but it wasn't a. So Mac said one thing you're thankful for, dude. The thing with stuff that I've got going on in my life, Gramps can relate, Randy can relate. We've all. It doesn't matter who it is. Everybody's fighting a battle, and you see the stuff on Instagram that says, you know, it's a lot harder to be nice to somebody than it is to tear it down, to tear them down. And it's completely true because you never know what somebody's going through. You know, somebody might snap at you and you don't know if they've just lost a family member, if they just lost their job, if they, you know, just found out something of their own health. You never know. So just like be nice, people. You know, I know there's enough bad crap in the world right now that, so yeah, I think that's cool. My answer on that is I'm not a big fan of the Googan Squad, like watching their stuff. I know Randy is. Randy watches a lot. Gramps, I know you are. I used to watch Lake Fork Guy and some old Flare back in the day. I remember seeing them when I was kind of getting into the YouTube thing. So my buddies were like, yeah, there's people that do fishing on YouTube. Like, you should make a channel. And I remember seeing some of them, and I remember seeing like an old Flare video. I'm like, this guy is like awful. Like, who would watch this stuff? And like from the old stuff like that they started with, from him as like a little kid, like unboxing stuff, to what they've done now, I have a ton of respect for those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, I know, Gramps, I think you kind of touched on it with the Perrick thing. There was, you know, everybody knows about the blow up with the 10-pounder you lost. Why didn't you grab it? Blah, blah, blah. And when him and John B were fishing or whatever. But I actually noticed, for whatever reason, it came up on my feed. He has been posting a couple of videos, and I've watched the last couple of them. And there's like, it seems like a totally different switch has been flipped, and he's trying to do something different, and he's trying to do something better, and he's just trying to, like you said, figure it out, you know, and good for him. And
it's a different, and I understand this. That's probably why I made the comment that I did on his page. It's like seeing the difference between the teenager to now the young adult. Could you imagine being, what is he, 24, 25? And he's never going to have to work a day in his life. You
No,
know,
that'd be crazy.
realistically, they probably have done that well that they, you know, and that company is expanding. You know, they are going to be the next, you know, Strike King, Berkeley. They're going to be a player, and he's going to have a piece of that from now on. So, what do you do when that's kind of like hitting the lottery, and
I
then you
remember
know you still want to make videos? What do you do? You
one thing
know,
on that, Gramps. I'm going to jump in. Randy and I were actually talking about it, and before like the YouTube ad apocalypse thing, I remember Randy and I were talking about it. Flair was saying on a video that he gave hints to it. He never gave an exact amount. When they were doing really good, he was saying that they were making basically, without saying it, 3 figures a month.
Yeah.
With his YouTube. Can you imagine making? I don't know what that means. If that's, I'm going to say on the low side, 100,000. You imagine making 100,000 a month? Like
Yeah.
like you said, the success, and those are young. Those are kids. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
young
But
20s.
some of them
and
started.
that's, you know,
when they
you
were
think
like
about what their
12.
channels are doing, let alone the brand.
Right.
I mean, it's insane. They've got clothing lines, baits, eternal tack. I mean, there's nothing that they're not in right now.
Well, that's
And,
like every
hey,
time
good
Randy.
for 'em.
Yeah, Randy. Every time we talk, he's like, "Oh, you see, they have this now or this now." Like, it's not like they just, "Oh, we're gonna, you know, drop a couple soft baits or a couple
Yeah.
hard baits." Like, they're trying to literally have everything, and it's
They
Yeah, good for
aren't
them.
dipping their
for
toes in
them.
the water. They're full on cannonballing in, man.
And they're hiring good people to work for that company. They pulled Trey Epic from Shimano, was one of the Shimano program managers. You know, they're bringing in people that's got experience, and you know, for like the, you know, with the stuff that we crack on about how crappy some of the baits are, like the clickbait, that's going to change over time. You know, but we'll see where they go. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's
I
interesting.
will say that I do like that they put on their hard baits. They put the depth, the diving ranges. They put the weights on the. They actually have it printed or something. Something that little is just
Everybody
like
should do that with cranks.
Yeah.
Rapala does that.
yeah.
Well, and it's like Justin saying, Catchco's behind them. Oh, those days are long gone. They've outgrown Catchco. Trust me.
100%.
This is their brand now. This is all under the House of Outdoors brand. So they still work with Catchco and Mystery and all that, but the stuff they're putting out now is theirs. It's a big difference than when they were with Catchco.
What do
It's-
they have?
I don't
Like
know much
reels
on them.
left is the only thing they haven't done is fishing reels, pretty much.
That's tough. Like, that's a tough one to
And,
get
and
into.
Lunkers actually hinted at that, but I don't even think they should mess with that. That's
No.
you're
could
just, you know, Dobbins coming out with a fishing reel for their stuff too, and it's just like no, stick with reels are a whole different game that you just.
It is.
Yeah.
People don't understand. You can go to, and you can actually do the same thing with baits. If you have enough money to invest up front, you can literally go to a company like Doyo. There's 2 or 3 that make reels, but it's essentially a catalog, and you can pick, okay, I want this type of frame, I want this. And I'm sure like the size your company has, you know, okay, well, I want this side plate to be a little bit different, or I want to change this. And they can, you know, kind of do their own custom designing. But yeah, if I had enough money, I could literally go over there and say, okay, I want that frame, I want that side plate, these colors, and I could have DEBO reels. Doesn't mean they're going to be great, you know. So that's why I think the reel business is hard to get into. That's why you hear folks talking about like Shimano and Daiwa as being the top 2 above everybody else, because they've got their own, you know, manufacturing warehouses. It's not all in Japan. You know, they've got Taiwan, or is it Malaysia, depending on Shimano or Daiwa. But still, it's their factories where they have the whole say over it. So it doesn't mean anything made in those factories is bad. You know, Luz, Abu, they've still got a certain quality code that those factories have to meet, you know, before they accept it and kick it out. So I love Luz, I love Abu. I'm not going to use just, you know, those 2, but something to think about. I don't know where I was going with that. I got off on a tangent, and I kind of stalled. But okay, so my thing will be, I will say, Randy watches a lot of Googan stuff, and he'll send me things, and some of them like, this is stupid as hell. Why would I watch it? However, one that I sat and watched, and I actually watched it twice, was...
I thought they were going to do it more permanently, but...
I hope so. Randy sent me a video of LFG and John B. sitting in his boat talking about like baitcaster history and old baitcasters, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. It's informational. It was cool. They were talking about like their old reels and showing off stuff. I like that video a lot.
God, what did they pull out that one baitcaster that had the little twitch button on it? If you remember that one, it was supposed to be for jigging or something. Yeah. Crazy
All right,
stuff.
what do
But
we
yeah,
got?
that was a really good one.
So let's see. That was Gramps' question. Oh, Randy, how about yours? Oh, and my favorite
I already
bait,
did mine.
I would say the rattling net is my favorite Googan bait. I like that one a lot.
Mine was the line at the beginning, remember?
Oh no, your answer to this. Your favorite Googan
Oh.
bait and favorite Googan Squad?
The bait, I would have to say, I don't know. I like the trench hog. I think it's pretty decent
trench
bait,
hog.
especially for a trailer. It's really good. I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat as Gramps. LFG's good jumpies. He's a totally individual by himself with what he can do, and I agree. He does make some really, really good series that are 3-4 videos long, and I feel like they just kind of they grab me anyway, and I'm just like, oh, I'm there. I'm kind of along for the ride, just with the cinematics and everything. So.
Okay, so I got to find mine. I'm the odd man out. I should have been looking, but I was on tangents, and that was a good conversation. That was cool. I like that kind of stuff where we go in depth, and it's not basically what we're saying is the Googan Squad is Transformers because there's more than meets the eye, is what we're saying.
It's like an onion. It has layers.
Okay, so let me pick my question quick, and then we'll get out of here. We've still got I can't believe we still have 300 people on. Y'all are insane. Y'all are crazy. Black Sunday Joel did ask this question. I feel like I could go in depth on that. I actually want to do a video on that because I have people ask me that all the time, my dude, and I don't know a great answer to it. I've got the old Lose Fritz crankbait rod, which is pretty good. It's kind of heavy. It's not the best. I've got some others, so I'm gonna park that one. That's one I want to do a specific video on.
I was gonna say Lose just is coming out with a new crankbait rod series as well. It's different from the pro staff ones, but they're actually coming out with a new set, I think, of crank rods.
So we got the Fury. Yeah, the Fury's a good rod. Mine is, as of now, I think I would probably say the Daiwa Tatula. Is it XT, the black rod? Is that right? Tatula XT. Crank rod. I got it for like $75. Normally they're 100. Really like that one. Okay, let's go. Let's get one more good question. People talking about line. I'm way behind.
I mean, I would really like to use my Avid X. I just got it back last year and then really haven't ever cranked with it since.
Oh gosh.
Everybody wants to know when the next lure drop is. I've seen that question pop up quite a few times.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
that website's looking pretty empty.
Hey, listen, leave me alone.
I keep saying I want to buy one just to put up on the mantle back here with the old Bill Dance
hat. Buy one. You don't need to buy one. I'll hook you up with one. I need to hook you up, TJ, and Mr. Bassgeek. I've all promised lures too, so I'll get you one, Gramps. Let me know. Send me a message. Send me a text, and I'll get you one. Okay. I gotta get a question. Most tubes, Kayaks problems. Mike Dove, actually. Mike Dove. Mike, you're going to be happy because, Mike, I want to try to get you on a live. So this is what I was going to do a shout out to because I thought you might be on. Mike was kind enough to send me a box of baits some time ago. And he said, hey, you ever going to do an unboxing? Well, Mike, guess what's coming up on Monday?
Hey.
We got a Thunderhawk unboxing. Cool unboxing, cool new baits. So, Mike, thanks for jumping in. Yeah, still want to get you on, just like some other companies. I want to try to get in and talk to somebody and see if we can get them on because I would like to talk to some companies more and do some in-depth stuff.
Somebody said SV or DC.
Okay, there it is. Gramps got it. So we're talking about DC reels or the SV spool. So I've gone back and forth on the DC reels, and actually Randy can probably talk to it a little bit more too because when I first got the DC reel, I was like, this is actually pretty cool. If you're proficient with a DC reel, you don't need it. I just saw, and that's what I was going to say, Japan Tackle Addict. It does really work well on windy days. It does self-right. However, Daiwa with the SV spool and their, is it Magtrax or Magforce?
They've got a chip or something in it too, yeah.
They don't have a chip. The Daiwa reels don't. It's a cone, so it's a dual system brake. So they've got a cone that moves with centrifugal force. So that cone moves in and out of the magnets. So it's centrifugal in the fact that this cone moves. However, it's all magnetic powered. So they've got an interesting system. I think it's Mag Force, I want to say. Mag Trax, I think, is Abu. But the cool thing about their reels, the Daiwa reels, is they're hard to backlash. Like if you get a good Daiwa reel, anything with that, like the Tattooless CT and above, I think all have those. And some of them have like a 2-stage mag track. I don't even know what they call it. But once you get into that, it's hard to backlash those. So the question is the DC that effective? So I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. Gramps, I saw you say the SV. Is that right? I'll grab one and show you real quick.
Yep.
Randy, how about you?
I mean, I used to.
Reels.
Yeah, it was. I made fun of you the first time when you first busted yours out, and I caught the first fish on that combo. That was fun. I liked that day.
Oh yeah, the first time out with the DC, I hadn't caught a fish, and I'm like, "You want to try it?" And he catches a fish first cast with. He's like, "I don't know what you're doing wrong." Did he hit?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you.
ultimately,
Shut up,
I think I like the DC. The sound at first, I was like, I couldn't fish that thing all day long and not get annoyed with it. But now I'm just like, it's like I don't even really notice it that much, and if I do, I make some kind of like dubstep comment or something like that. But I think really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're still going to backlash whatever you're kind of throwing, regardless. It's being conscious of what you're doing when you're doing it. And Gramps, you said it earlier. Get out and practice, get out and do it. Regardless of what your gear is, the more you use it, the better you're going to be with it. And it doesn't matter if it's $50 reel or a $5,000 reel. But
I think it's a legit question because so many people say, I've heard the DC reel is the best reel for beginners. I need to do a video on that. But this is the Shimano. This is the old Zillion, and it has a little cone here. So as you cast, this cone moves in and out. So that's the centrifugal part of it, and then it's got magnets in here, which that's going into, and as the spool's turning, that actually creates a magnetic field, and thus you've got magnetic braking. So, they're hard to backlash. A Daiwa reel is hard to backlash.
Yep.
So I don't know, and I did see a cast today.
Yeah, I guess they call it the SV booster system. So the concept of that spool plus the way the magnets, it's a 2-stage braking system. So yeah.
Yep.
I would disagree with that.
Yep.
I would disagree with that comment on it being a good starter reel, Debo. I think it's like you're handicapping yourself too much if you do something like that. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
so here's the other thing I will say. I agree with that, Randy. But if you're getting into skipping, like Ben says, the DC is awesome for skipping. Yep.
Sure.
But see, I'm going to throw another wrench in here. I had Tom Brubaker on from Lose not too long ago, and I brought up the same thing. I think the Lose SP reel, because it's a shallow reel or shallow spool that only holds 40 yards of line, you could set the brakes, and that's a great beginner reel for somebody just learning a baitcaster. Not as much line to mess with. You don't have it coming up from the bottom through the top. If you're a beginner, obviously you're not messing with skipping at all. But I think that for a $200 reel, I think you can actually get it for like $169 now, plus save 10%. Where. But
shameless plug.
It's just one of those. It's a really good reel, and that's actually the one I'm throwing on the Andy Montgomery Pro Signature Series rod this year that I'm going to put it to a whole lot of work as well. So I mean, I think DCs are good for somebody who's throwing crankbaits in the wind. That's kind of what I used it for. And then like the skip pitch reel is another really good one for skipping or for a beginner.
Yeah, it's a good cover. It's one that I go back and forth on a lot. My thing on the DC is if you're proficient with a baitcaster, I don't think you need the DC. There's other reels that are just as good, but you've got to find something that you like. I mean, you've got like the MGLs, Dan just said, awesome light bait. You've got the SV, you've got all kinds of the Daiwa, so I don't know. But we are way over time.
The good thing is, though, all of that leads to more competition, means better stuff for us.
I agree. Competition is a good thing. Black Sunday, Joel says, Gramps, you have a lose. Do you have a specific lose coupon code, or are you just talking about the American Legacy?
It's not. I had a Gramps 15 on the Mock Crush combo at American Legacy Fishing, but for pretty much any, if you're shopping in American Legacy Fishing, just put in Gramps 10 whatever you check out, and if there's some stuff that's excluded, like some of the higher end G Loomis and things like that. But I know a lot of people that have tried it on a lot of different things. so don't be afraid to save yourself another 10% off of their regular prices.
I'm literally just going to start throwing Gramps 10 on anything I do online.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
I'm
what
telling
website
you,
it's on. It just might work. Who knows?
Yeah, Tacklebox Mike and Pike and Tackle both brought up good points. The Revo SX is a reel that goes under the radar. I need to do a full review on that one. It's one that I didn't put enough time in until I did that casting test, and then I felt like a dummy for not using it more. And Pike and Tackle said the Black Max. Yes. I don't know if they're done making the Black Max. The Max
I think they
X,
are. Which
is the new one. I would highly recommend the Max X at $59. Get it on sale. It is an awesome reel. I used it a ton last year, and I've got $200, $300, $400 reels, and I used that reel for topwater. It was easy. It was an awesome little combo at $89, I think, for the Max X, the whole combo. So, all right. So anyway, we're getting out of here. We are 2 hours, 15 minutes. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you check out Gramps, Fishing with Gramps on YouTube. Dizzle on YouTube, not Darcizzle. They look very similar, but not the same thing. I will put Randy's link down below. But we're getting out of here. Love y'all. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next Saturday.